and delivering America's next big comedy. Get theaters, showtimes, and advance tickets at AmIRacist.com.
Am I Racist? Rated PG-13. Buy tickets now.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Well, if you've been listening to me for any time at all, you know I heap praise on our government and union-dominated system of education, and my admiration for parents who just send their kids off to the government to be educated.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Former President Trump will not be sentenced yet. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. A Manhattan judge postponing the sentence in a New York hush money case until after Election Day.
The former president could face up to 4 years in prison after being convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. He was supposed to be sentenced in July, but that was delayed until this month following the Supreme Court's ruling granting presidents immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts. Now Judge Juan Merchan is delaying it yet again to November 26th. He said he wanted to avoid the appearance, however unwarranted, that sentencing has been affected by the upcoming election or would seek to affect the upcoming election, and that he hopes postponing dispels any suggestion that the court would have issued a decision that would give an advantage or disadvantage to any political party.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Judge Merchan also plans to rule after Election Day on the Trump motion to toss out the New York case based on the Supreme Court's immunity ruling. Earlier today, arguments in the Trump appeal of last year's ruling in the E. Jean Carroll case, a jury finding Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation, awarding millions of dollars to the writer who says Trump assaulted her decades ago in a store dressing room. Today, he again denied ever meeting her. The former president also sounding off on border security.
It's turning out that migrant crime is far worse than any crime that we've ever experienced. If you look at Aurora, Colorado, they're taking over the place. They took over buildings, and this is just the beginning. You haven't seen anything yet.
After police in that Denver suburb confirmed 4 shooting suspects are known or suspected members of a Venezuelan prison gang, Immigration and Customs Enforcement telling Fox News all 4 had been caught and released at the Texas border in 2022 and 23. In North Carolina, first in the nation mail-in ballots were supposed to be sent out today, but that's postponed by a judge as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. tries to remove his name after suspending his independent campaign and backing Trump. America is listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Love it. How you doing? Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer on Let It Rip Friday with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder, newly engaged, and as we bring you Let It Rip Friday, 404-741-1230. Oh, there goes my signal. Well, there he's back. He's back. We're all set to go. It's an incredible achievement here with the modern happiness here. With the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Hope you can join us. Family got stuff today. We got, in fact, we will have another edition of not the Kimmer's Rainy Day Bad Text Theater, because all I can say is Saturday. It's now a double whammy. Not the Kimmer's Rainy Day Bad Text Theater. I know you can't wait. I know certainly I can. And so many other things. Also, again, we have a lot of newsy stuff. The Trump thing is in the news and going to trials and trying to get the judge to cooperate. A lot of stuff on the school shooting, and every day is a say. I say Literate Friday. Every day is a say on radio, and we just do our stuff. But Friday, I just really do love Fridays, and I hate getting off on the thing. We've got a lot of really unfortunate information about the kid, the suspected brutal murderer in the family. I mean, it's just, and frankly, I read all this stuff, and I'm thinking to the people, oh God, and I'm thinking, what chance did he have? I mean, I know I can't say, well, you can't forgive the kid, but still, what chance did he have? If this is only partly true, and again, I'll be reading some words, and you'll be hearing some comments about the father talking with the cops and stuff too. But still, that's only a couple of minutes of this kid's life. Of his family situation that we'll be describing. So again, try to put as I was reading the stuff, I was thinking about how the mother would lock the kids outdoors, and they would have to go banging, screaming, and yelling, "Mom, let us in," and then she never would. And one little boy, one of the sons, had to go next door begging for food. Jesus, talk about white trash. I mean, I don't know what to call it. But again, I'm not. Again, I don't know. All I know is what I know. All I know is what I've read and I've heard and stuff like that. So, but again, it's just appalling. And again, I couldn't help feeling for this kid. I mean, what chance did he have? God. Anyway, okay, so we got all that stuff too. The Stormy Daniels thing in the news was, I got a bone to pick with a I guess a well-known former DA and Georgia Sheriff's legal advisor guy talking about what guns are. Okay, there's no such thing as an assault rifle. I don't know what that is. Okay, I don't know. I mean, everybody calls it various things. But we'll kind of an argument about that too. Yeah. So we got a lot. I even want to talk about all this stuff on next kid. Let's see. Hunter Biden guilty. The Republicans in the House are saying, "Told you so." Also, a whole bunch of ways now that Kamala side piece, the shiftless and lazy vice president, wants to be your latex salesman. There are like 9 points now where she has flip-flopped so badly, and hopefully everybody now is starting to point it out. I mean, it's just, it's either yes or no. You either believe. Now she's backed off on the electric vehicle business. Remember, that was their huge thing. And now we're gonna hold off on that thing. And by the way, was it who the hell was it just announced they're shutting down their electric vehicle program? I mean, anyway. So look at that. We got weird stuff like that. Let's see what else we got in out of time. Endorsements. Oh, the Babylon Bee. Two things. The Babylon Bee has come out with a movie. And we're going to play a trailer for it, which is pretty funny. And it's a visual. It's a movie trailer, so of course it's a visual. And there are going to be a few seconds in it where there's silence because there's no narrator. But the part you'll be showing, I'll explain to you. It's pretty funny.
I took that one part out.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. Okay. But I could. But thank you. Well done, Flounder. Also, I just saw another ad on TV. You know who Matt Walsh is? Remember Matt Walsh? Matt Walsh is the commentary podcaster, writer, and he was a guy who went around to on camera trying to get people to tell him whether he was a racist. And he's got a new mockumentary out called Am I a Racist? And they showed a couple clips of it, and it's freaking hysterical. I mean, one black woman said, "I'm asking you to leave now." He said, "I'm just trying to find out if I'm just asking you to leave." I mean, it's really his bitch, Matt Walsh, if you're looking for it. You can go IamAracist.com, AmIAracist.com. Anyway, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Okay, also, I put a video on Facebook today and YouTube. And we're on YouTube, right, Flounder? My signal here is going in and out with the Pete link here, but we're okay. But we are on YouTube, and I put on YouTube and also my Facebook page. Okay, in the news, a history note today is something in the news, and it reminded me of something that I've looked back on my childhood, and I still have possession of, and put video of on the Facebook page and YouTube today. My drumsticks, which I made in 6th or 7th grade when I was 12. In shop. And so I showed them, and I had them there at my little workstation stuff at home when I'm doing my stuff in the morning. And I didn't realize that I have a see-through glass table where I have my stuff, and you could see that I wasn't wearing any pants.
This has happened before.
This has happened before. Now, although this time I was wearing my jogging shorts, which I want to wear, which is what I wear when I come home. I take off my work clothes and put on my jogging shorts, and that's what I do. Anyway, so I was wearing them, but it looks like I don't have any pants on. And of course, the last one I was just wearing my skivvies, my tidy bluesies. Anyway, so I was not trying to be offensive. I was just trying to show you a little thing, and so that's the scoop. So you can.
Yeah, literally.
That's what she said.
Would you like to meet my little friend?
No, not really. It looks like something, only smaller. I don't know.
Hey, Rocky, want to meet my little friend?
And now we've done it. Anyway. Oh, also another TV thing. I'm stalling getting. I don't want to talk about this kid. I hate the whole idea, but I got to do it because you should know about it. And you can't help but feeling something of this. But it's another thing. Last night I'm goofing around. I'm doing my stuff. Oh, I got another. And I went to the stable last night from here because of the concert. There was Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top. So I knew I wouldn't be able to get home with the traffic. So I went to the stable and then got home late. I'm going to do the same thing tonight because tonight they have Dirk's Bentley is 50 yards from my house, and so I'll never get home. So I'm going to do it again. But so last night when I finally got home, I'm looking around while I was doing my history and birthday list and stuff, and I was on TV, and I saw that Blazing Saddles was on. And since I got my new TV, and it ruined my old library of movies box, I do not have a copy of Blazing Saddles in my library history, my Comcast thing. So I turned on BBC and started watching Blazing Saddles, and sure enough, they censored it and edited the damn thing the first 2 minutes. And I thought, if you're going to play Blazing Saddles, how the hell can you take anything out? Don't play it. I mean, I was so offended by it that and of course it's stupid. People, I guess, how could you enjoy that movie? The point was to have all that stuff in it. Anyway. So, just here we go. Everything's not the same. In fact, talk about guns. I heard Tug this morning with Tug and the Say Hey Kid and the Smart One. Although I'm not sure whether they were all three. You can never really tell whether it's the three of them or the two, and they have like the AI thing. I can't. Anyway, I think it was Tug was talking about years past, and this kid with this gun. His father bought him a gun. The suspected killer. Father bought him a gun for Christmas, and he used it and so forth. And then so the father's been charged with murder. We'll get to that story, too. They had a court case today, along with Donald Trump's court case. And the father's been charged with a couple of counts of murder, plus a lot of other things, for giving the kid the gun. Now, Tug's point was, holy cow. Either his father or his grandfather did the same thing, bought him a gun. And so he would therefore be, reckless or whatever. And listen, I remember I told you yesterday again, I took my .22 to show and tell when I was in 7th grade.
But the difference is that you and Los and everybody else weren't investigated by the FBI just a few months before.
Right. And not only that, and this is also important. For the record, I bought my grandson Brady a .410 over-under shotgun .22 rifle that is now in the safe at their home. I also bought both Brady and Molly, who at the time was 8, both lever-action BB guns. And again, they're in the custody of the fathers because everything is fine. So again, the gun is not the issue. Everything is different. Everything is way, way, way different. And by the way, speaking of the FBI, apparently this is very good news, Pete and Flounder. The FBI now says they were just about to get the school shooter, but they had to take care of some stuff, a few things in advance, which is a shame. But now the FBI, according to Babylon Bee, is assuring the public the next 10 mass shooters are also on their radar. So that's the good news. Good Lord. Anyway,
do you know what you've done here?
What have I done, sir?
You've done a whole opening segment without asking poor Flounder how he's feeling today or anything.
Well, I was almost afraid because I know. Well, let's go ahead and we can roll the tape. Okay. Hey, Flounder, how's it going? What's new with you, sir?
Well, it's good, but now we need to go to break.
You're supposed to say everything's fine.
Just say
no,
fine.
I have lots to talk about.
That'll be the day. One of these freaking days, I want to say, hey, Flounder, how you doing? And I want you to just start. I want you to like a 7-minute monologue.
One of the frustrations I'm having is me and Veronica are looking at houses.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Well, I want to hear all about it because we've been there, and I'll bet I know exactly what
the market and inflation.
Oh, my God.
Wait.
Coming up, 3:14, and the Rainy Day Bad Text Theater is coming up in the next 15 minutes or so, too. Kim, Pete, and Flounder. Look out, here we go.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
That would be we. How you doing? 3:15, Kim, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, speaking of the guns and stuff, gun safes. I mean, again, I don't want to make a commercial thing out, but the fact of the matter is, I was talking about the guns I bought for my grandkids. They're in a safe, which is where they belong. And the best place to get your safe for your guns or anything else is at Atlanta Safe House. They have a showroom in Ackworth up off Industrial Boulevard if you're up in that area. In fact, even if you're not in the market for safe or you're just thinking about it, just stop in and say, hey, the Kimmer said to stop and see what's going on. Take a selfie, send it to us, something just for kicks. Jeff and Mark love to just have folks stop in and see what they have. Check them out on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. Pistol safes and the big gun safes. I've had a couple of those babies drilled from the inside into the concrete floor of your basement or game room. And again, they have nooks and crannies and shelving units, so it's not just a big empty space. You can put anything in there you want. They can design it for any way you're looking for. All kinds of high security safes, business safes, jewelry safes, protecting your assets from the top brands. Everything's on sale. And by the way, for the rest of the year, any and every safe you buy from Atlanta Safe House, they're going to pay the sales tax. Just another way of saying, hey, we appreciate your business and we're going to take care of you. And don't forget, they're never going to be giving out your master reset code to somebody who doesn't deserve it, by the way, like some other companies do. Atlanta Safe House says, no, we believe in taking care of our Constitution and your rights. Delivering people, only off-duty firefighters, police, and military folks, because you can trust them. Like you can trust Jeff and Mark and the gang at atlantasafehouse.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Tune into your new favorite show that's redefining the A to Z's of marketing, The Marketing Mad Men. We'll take you behind the scenes of successful campaigns and reveal the strategies that win. We're not just talking about marketing, we're making it happen. From viral content creation to leveraging AI for customer engagement, our experts bring you to the cutting edge of industry. This is your playbook for market dominance. Tune in and transform your approach with actionable tips that could skyrocket your ROI. The Marketing Mad Men every Saturday at 4 p.m. right here on Extra 106.3.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3 with daily commentary you'll hear throughout the day. And he's on live with the Morning Extra every Tuesday morning at 7:30. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3. And catch all of Neil's commentary on the Extra app.
All right, I got now. 319, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Got Pete's Tweets coming up, Flounder's Funnies, and also celebrating a birthday boy on the comedy track with Madonna first.
Some boys kiss me, some boys hug me.
Yeah, she was a naughty little thing. 20. Boy, have you seen a picture of her late? Oh, God. Every time we talk about my poor, why did she do that to herself? Can they undo that? I mean, if they butcher your face like that, is there any way to I guess they can't undo it because the muscles are torn or something? Oh, jeez. Honestly, I feel terrible for her. I mean, I don't care personally, but I mean, that's just like, God. Anyway, 2011. Excuse me. Good start, Kimmer. 2011, a California judge ruled that Madonna did not hold a trademark over the phrase material girl for her line of clothing just because she wrote a song by the name in 1985. Again, this was 2011. An L.A. retailer called L.A. Triumph had been using the name Material Girl Clothing and has registered it as a trademark so Madonna can go pound sand. Oh, sorry. And there you go. Oh, by the way, Flounder, you have nothing to do with this, of course, but Flounder prints out a history thing and a birthday list, and I print out my own, too, at home. I don't print them, I type them. I don't have a printer. But anyway, and Flounder, your list for today's birthdays is actually for tomorrow. they said it was today.
Oh, damn it. No, they do a weekend. I copied and pasted the wrong one. You should have told me. Damn it.
I did my own, so I'll use mine.
That's my fault.
And no, it's all right. I didn't want to. You got stuff in there. I hate going in there unless there's something I need to do because you got stuff going on. So I'll do actually from my list, the actual birthday today, Roger Waters is 81. Today.
Anti-Semitic piece of crap.
He's been married 4 times, too, by the way. And on our Saturday birthday list, we were just talking about her yesterday, Evan Rachel Wood, 37. That's the girl we were talking about who apparently was abused horribly by Marilyn Manson and turned her into a really, you feel bad for her. Anyway, Evan Rachel Wood is 37 years old, eh? And on this day, okay, I was talking about this earlier. Okay, let me finish the Calabanga here. On this day in 1819, Thomas Blanchard patented a machine that I'll bet would horrify modern-day teachers and school boards and families today. He invented the lathe. The man was that fun in the 8th grade, or 7th? I think it was 7th. It might have been. I think it was 7th grade. But I made that pair of drumsticks, which I put on Facebook and YouTube in the video today. And I got to thinking, we were using a lathe, and he wasn't like standing over us. He would say, "Okay, well, here's your block of wood, and see if you can make a vase." Or there's freaking machines. We were doing drill presses for God's sakes. And reach kaplunk, machine kaplunk. I mean, my God, can you? I can't imagine that it's probably been 30 or 40 or 50 years since schools had shop. Especially metal shop, wood shop. I mean, we did everything. Lathes and presses, and it was cool. I made my mother a coat rack. I mean, every year at Christmas, we'd have something, make something for your mother. Anyway, I guess I'm probably scare the crap out of people these days.
When you're ready, we got some phone calls to get to.
Phone calls, let's do them. 323, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Yes, sir.
First up, we got Adam who wants to talk about the latest jobs report.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, these freaking liars coming out with their phony figures again. I'm sorry. Adam, you're on the radio, man. What's up?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Semper Fi. Yeah, so last month's job report, a big dud, and they also had to revise the numbers down again. And then about 2 weeks ago, they had to revise previous months down almost 1 million.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're saying this is a good economy.
It's unbelievable. And they got caught, and then it disappeared. I remember seeing it on the news. They had the 3 months in a row, and it was like 200,000 less than they thought. I mean, it's like you said, it's almost like 1 million lying fake jobs that were not there after all, and they got caught, and then it disappeared. It was like there was one story on it, and then it's gone. And today they're coming out with new figures. I don't believe any. I don't believe these people. You can't trust these figures. We know they're lying. They've lied for every month for I don't know how long now.
And another thing, real quick, they brag about the stock market, but adjusted for inflation, the stock market is lackluster at best.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Adam. Again, we got a lot more on this. Donald Trump was talking about the economy, and she's still trying to. We just played the commercial. Her commercial just a minute ago said, Carmela's side piece has a plan to lower costs by stopping all that price gouging at the store. Oh, please. You telling that actually said something like those exact words. You mean to tell me that she's going to improve the economy by stopping all those nasty price gougers at Publix and, A&P? I mean, my God.
She didn't say that. She said price gauging.
Well, she first said gauging. That's right. And nobody called her on it either. Nobody said it. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm sorry, Flounder, we have more calls here? I got distracted.
Yes, we do. Now we got, who do we got? We got Scotty the window guy wants to talk about Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, Scotty. What's going on, man?
Hey, Semper Fi, welcome home, man. Thank you for your service.
Yes,
Shout out to Timmer's YouTube Mafia, as always.
Yes, sir.
Just want to let you know, the Movie Tavern in Roswell on September 15th is going to be re-releasing the 50-year anniversary of Blazing Saddles. And I called up there and talked to the manager, and he said, hell no. He said he was a 76 model, and he said they're running the entire thing uncut.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you can't. If you're going to play that movie, you deserve to have the movie played as it is. I mean,
exactly how it is. Mel Brooks broke the barrier back in the day and got away with it.
Yeah.
You cannot remake that movie today.
No, you can't. Thanks. Absolutely true, Scotty. 325, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
All right, and now we have Jeff who wanted to share a story with you.
Jeff, thank you for calling, and thank you for entertaining us right now. What's up, sir?
Hey, Kimmer.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Pete. How's the mountains of Macon?
Hello. Fine.
I just got a little story about Kamala. Remember when she flew into Chattanooga and went down to Q Sales in Dalton, Georgia, and they're doing a big solar panels and stuff?
Yeah.
I work out here on the highway assisting broke down cars and tire debris and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
There was a car that was broke down on the side of the road, and I was out there with them, and Secret Service come up, walked dogs around the car, and before they left, they looked at us and said, now when the caravan comes through, y'all got to be facing the woods.
Facing the woods?
Can't even look at them as they go by.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you serious? You're not making fun of. You're not making this up, right?
No, I am not making this up. I had a deputy sheriff with me and two girls that were in the car, and all of us were told to face the woods and don't look at the caravan going by.
What in the possible...
They shut the entire highway down from Chattanooga to Carbondale Road, both ways. And
oh my God!
You couldn't look at. You couldn't even look at them. That's what I wanted to tell you. You want to talk about a dictatorship?
Holy God! I mean, and by the way, that word is legitimate. If she wins, that means all the Democrats win because all the Democrats are going to vote for the Democrats on all the tickets. So they're going to take control of everything. It's over. It'll be over.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Well, thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Holy smoke. Told to face the woods? I don't think so. I think there might have been an issue there. I think I very clearly would have turned around when the freaking motorcade came to see if some Secret Service agent was going to, shoot me, wrestle me to the ground? Is he going to be standing there watching me? Oh, and by the way, in fact, I was going to mention it later. I'll do it right now. I got it in here. Speaking of that, it was on this day, 3/28. And by the way, we're going to do the theater live performance let's do it right after the 3:30 break. Can we do that, Flounder? Is that okay with you and Pete? 3:30-ish, so we can tease? Okay. On this day in 1901, President William McKinley, 6 months into his second term as president, shaking hands with a crowd of admirers at the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, 1901. That's when Leon Czesłakowiak shot him twice in the stomach. I might have mispronounced that. He was a Polish guy. Shot him twice in the stomach. It took McKinley 8 days to die from gangrene. The third president assassinated in office by 1901. First Abe Lincoln, 1865, James Garfield, 1881, and that's what the third one, McKinley, was what started the Secret Service agency supposedly protecting the President of the United States. And now let's think of all the times the presidents have been either shot or almost shot, from Gerald Ford and Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. Here, something's not working. I guess it's going to be worse.
Of how Teddy Roosevelt, who was vice president, found out. He was up at some lodge up in the mountains of the Adirondacks or somewhere. Yeah. Totally cut off from any communication. Yep. And they had to ride up there and get him. And he rode down in a wagon. They said at breakneck speed. If it had crashed, it would have killed him too. And that's how quick he had to get back to Washington. Yeah. And again, 1901, communication was a little bit different than a guy walked up and shot him twice in the belly. At gangrene killed him in 8 days. Brutal. Anyway, that's why they had the Secret Service. That's when they started doing that stuff. All right, 3:20, almost 3:30. Geez, we got so much. You're going to hear a lot about political stuff, a lot more on the school shooter business. And the Babylon Bee's got a little comedy movie coming out, which I can't wait to see, by the way. I love those guys over there. And the Not the Kimmers, Rainy Day, Bad Text Theater with our live performances. Coming up next. I don't know about you, but my nipples are hard as a rock right now. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let it rip Friday, baby.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Fall's just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Hi, this is Ben.
And I'm Walt from Horizon Background Screening. The companies that typically use us are law firms. Any business that has a problem with an employee will often hire us if they need some sort of investigation done or some kind of background check.
We're going to help you hire the right person on the front end so that you don't spend all this time with training and all those kind of things and then realize that wasn't a good hire.
The best way for people to find us is on our website. A quick Google search of Horizon Background Screening or look at us at horizonscreening.com.
Back to school means back to traffic in Atlanta. If traffic mishaps land you in trouble with the law, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds from local to federal for any jail in any city. And in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your voice, your vote. And this year it matters more than ever. So for the unbiased election coverage that affects your family and your community, trust the voices that matter when it matters the most. Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Look out, here we go. 3:33, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let It Rip Friday. Anything goes with Great White. These are the pyrotechnic guys. 2008, Great White's pyrotechnics sparked a fire that killed 100 people. It was on this day in 2008 that they paid $1 million to survivors and relatives. Blaze started at the Station nightclub in Rhode Island in 2003. And it was a band's tour manager shot off pyrotechnics at the start. 200 people were injured in the blaze. One band member, the guitar player, Ty Longley, also died in the fire. The tour manager pleaded guilty to 100 counts of involuntary manslaughter and was given parole in March after serving less than half of his 4-year prison sentence. And again, it was as I recall, I forgot the exact thing, but I think that was just a mistake that one guy packed the explosives in and didn't tell the staff that they had done it, and the other guy came in and packed, thinking it was the first load in himself, and I think that's what happened. I think it was something simple. It's just silly like that, unfortunately.
And well, it was like maybe 12-foot ceilings for something that was going to shoot up 20 feet.
Yeah, it was also near drapes. I mean, it was badly set up in pretty much every way. But I think it was also just an accident that they packed it by mistake. But again, they had it in the wrong place, and they were guilty of doing it. Our birthday list: Jeff Foxworthy, 66 years old today. We may be hearing from him later. We have Flounder's Funnies, and we have Pete's Tweets. And tomorrow's birthday, which we got by mistake, let's see, Corbin Burnson from LA Law and Major League, the movie. Corbin Burnson, 70 years old today. And let's see, hold on, I got a little history thing here. Oh, yeah, 1997, the public funeral for Princess Diana, murdered by her philandering fop of a husband, held at Westminster Abbey 6 days after he had her murdered in that car chase with a lover. The same was 97. Same day in Calcutta, India, weeping masses mourn Mother Teresa, who died at 87 the day before and would later become a saint. And, of course, I prayed with her, held her hands, and I'll never forget. She was a teeny little thing wearing her gown or her head cover thing, the little, what the hell, what am I trying? What that dress she wears, the little white, nun dress thing.
A habit.
Yeah, the habit thing. And her little head habit, stuff like that. And she was a little teeny little thing, and all wrinkled, nothing but wrinkles, and her hands were extremely soft, but she had man hands, and they were really wrinkly and soft, and when she held we held hands, and she prayed with me, or some other girl was going to die. And by the way, she died, Mother, so it didn't work. Thanks a lot. Anyway, sorry, but I'll never forget it. I mean, it was how many people get to pray with Mother Teresa? I mean, she had holding my hands, praying with me. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget her and the presence and just that.
You know what? I'm more apt to place the blame on it not working on you than Mother Teresa.
Well, now I really hadn't thought about it that way, but it's possible. All right, 336.
Bad karma.
You might have something there, sir. Let's call it 337. Flounder? Shall we take a stroll into the world of happiness here for a moment, sir, at your leisure? Yes, my friends. Once again, it is time for the Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Theater Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where we bring you the opportunity to leave that dreadful, horrible world of yours, the unfortunate life of you, the little people, and bring you some live entertainment. Today's theater presentation is called Hey, who you think you're talking to, freako? It starts like this. The scene is a hospital delivery room. A young woman, perspiration glistening on her forehead, smiles as she looks down at her newborn baby that she holds in her arms. A proud new father stands next to her, beaming down at his baby boy. But then a furrowed brow comes to his visage. A worried thought has entered his head. He sheepishly walks over to the doctor and in a whispered tone asks him,
Say, Doc, how soon do you think we'll be able to have sex again?
The doctor winks at the new father and replies,
I'm off duty in 10 minutes. Meet me in the parking lot.
And scene. There you have it. There you have it. Another live performance. The entertainment that honestly we feel from so deep inside that we know how much you just really need this kind of special love on the end of the week to get ready for your weekend. God bless you all. Thank you for joining us on another edition of Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Not bad, boys.
I stumbled a little bit.
No, you didn't stumble.
But
you
it still worked.
You could have been a stumbling fun. You just had a baby, for God's sakes. Of course you're going to stumble a little. I mean, my God,
Seriously.
man.
I mean, we all know you're incapable of following a script. You're James Dean meets Marlon Brando. I mean, there's no script good enough for the acting that is Flounder.
Thank you. Oh, mercy. Oh, goodness. 404-741-1230 is the number. 1230 if you'd like to join us here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. A couple of breaking stories. The Michigan Appeals Court now has said that the Michigan Secretary of State will take off the name of Robert Kennedy Jr. from the ballot. Let's see. They tried to remove Cornel West from the ballot. It's a whole different story. But also, hold on a second. We got an update here as well as that. And that was in Michigan. Michigan has to take RFK Jr.'s name off the ballot, so you can't vote for him because they were. Now, I don't know. You know, it could go either way. The people are saying that if they're going to vote, a vote for RFK would hurt Trump more than it would hurt Carmela. Again, who knows until it's over. But again, his name will not be on the ballot. And also in North Carolina, appeals court has ordered his name also taken off the general election ballot in North Carolina, and it will force mail-in ballots to be reprinted. So those are the issues. But again, they have to be doing it on time or they're obviously never going to get it done. So anyway, that's a couple of updates on the RFK issue. Donald Trump went into court today, and his sentencing for the Stormy Daniels case, where he faces 4 years in prison. That was that phony rape charge, which had nothing to do with anything. And Trump today even had a news conference, and he said, listen, I don't know the woman. I've never met her. I mean, he not only denied he raped her, of course, he was accused of rape, but he was not convicted. He was convicted of fondling her, like a little humpity hump or something. He says, I forgot, not only did I not rape her, I don't even know her. I don't remember even seeing her. And she claims he pumped her in a changing room or something at the Waldorf. I don't know. Anyway, so he faces 4 years in prison. And Dipwad Judge Juan Marchand, the judge has got a daughter who raised $30 million for the Democrat Party. By the way, he's connected to the Democrats like crazy. Anyway, Donald Trump says, not only did I not do it, this whole thing should be thrown out, and he's appealing that case as well. And the sentencing now for the Judge Marchand case and the Stormy Daniels case will be after November 26th, which is after the election. So that's the good news on that part. For the 341, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Okay. I almost hate getting into this, but if you haven't heard it, you probably ought to know it. Colt Gray, the shooting suspect in court today, and so was his father. The kid's charged, 14-year-old kid, charged with 4 counts felony murder. Maximum penalty, life in prison with no parole. He could get life with parole. He will not be eligible for the death penalty because of his age. He will not be released from custody. He's going to stay there till the trial. His father, Colin Gray, also went into court. Separate hearing. He was charged. The father has been charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, plus 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter and 8 counts of cruelty to children. He knowingly allowed his son to possess a weapon. The felony murder counts, the maximum penalty is 30 years for each one. Here's what the judge is telling him. It's 30 years for each count. For felony involuntary manslaughter, the maximum for each is 10. 8 felony counts cruelty to children, maximum under the law is 10. The possible total maximum penalty, sir, for the charges that you are currently facing, 180 years imprisonment. I saw the video of him in court this morning, and the dad was rocking back and forth. Looked like Leo Mazzoni. Remember Leo in the dugout, pitching coach for the Braves? He just rocked back and forth. Well, that's what the father was doing all day in that court thing, man. The father, in fact, a couple of quick things. Again, I mentioned earlier, I heard Tug this morning talking about the same thing. Our fathers bought us guns when we were kids. But again, there was no danger. This kind of thing was not happening. The issue isn't the gun. And, of course, we had safes or store. I mean, it just wasn't willy-nilly shooting guns all over the place. So the issue is not the fact that fathers taught their kids gun safety. Anyway, you can hardly, and I bought my grandkids guns, which are locked up in their father's safe. So anyway, and I heard this, God, did I write this guy? Yeah, I heard this morning a former Georgia Sheriff's Association legal advisor and ex-assistant DA saying on Fox News today, he said the AR is not a hunting gun. The AR-15 is not a hunting gun. There's no such thing as an assault rifle. An AR-15 is a rifle that shoots one bullet with one pull of the trigger. Okay? Just like a 22, just like a 30-06, just like a 308. I mean, you could 741. You go all down the line. Every rifle that shoots one bullet with one trigger pull is just like an AR-15. Now, the AR-15 can have a clip or a magazine that holds a lot of rounds in it, but still, you have to pull the trigger every time to get one bullet. It is not an automatic where you pull the trigger once and all of them come out. So, I mean, for this prosecutor to say the AR-15 is not a hunting gun, that's exactly what it is. It's not used in war. It's not a wartime gun. Nobody that I know in war carries an AR-15. Did your old man ever see an AR-15 in Vietnam? I guarantee you. I mean, the Army doesn't use AR-15s.
Nope.
Unless they just started. Anybody in the military right now, can you tell me anybody serving in the military right now or just got out and know the recent stuff, is there any military unit, any portion of the armed services that is using the AR-15 or anything like it? I mean, come on. It's not a weapon of war. It's a hunting rifle. It's a fun rifle. And by the way, I don't give a damn whether you think I should have one or not. It's not the Bill of Wishes, and it's not the Bill of Needs. It's a Bill of Rights. It doesn't matter what I need it for. Maybe I need it for not. In fact, I've got guns I've never shot. In fact, I have an AR-15 I've never shot. I have an AK-47 I've never shot. I've got 2 shotguns I've never shot. I mean, my God. I've got a 44 Magnum pistol I've never shot. I've got a 357 Magnum 8-shot revolver that I've never shot. I mean, so what?
Why do you have guns if you don't shoot them?
Well, actually, the short story is that years ago I used to represent a gun company. And they didn't have any money, but they had guns. And so instead of paying me, a few $100s a week or whatever to do their commercials for them, they would give me guns. And so if I, after a few months, I'd have a couple of $1,000s stored up and I'd go down and buy some guns for free. So that's why I had a bunch of guns, stuff like that.
You still have time to shoot them.
Well, and I keep saying, boys, one of these days, I really would love to. I've got buckets full of bullets. I've got, and one of these
places
days,
up here.
Well, let's find a place where we can go to like in a gully or ravine or something where there's no chance of ricochets hurting anybody and anywhere around, and we'll get a bunch of Coke bottles or pumpkins or things to shoot at, and I'll bring all my weapons and all my ammo, and we'll just go blow it all out one day. What do you think?
I saw pumpkins are $9 a piece.
Well, no, what apples? I don't care. Coke bottles. I mean, beer can. Anything. But just shoot at target and have some fun. Anyway, so that's why I've got them. And then after that, I'll probably sell them because I don't think anybody. Maybe I don't know if my son-in-law wants them. But anyway, 3:47. Got them late. All right, Flounder. We got more of this stuff with the kid and the father. You're going to hear some comments on this too. A lot of political stuff. We got a whole bunch of things here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. It's Letter Rip Friday, and Pete's tweets coming up, and also Flounder's funny. Stand by here at 3:47. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder right here.
legend, Neil Bortz, is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Well, if you've been listening to me for any time at all, you know I heap praise on our government and union-dominated system of education and my admiration for parents who just send their kids off to the government to be educated.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to The Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Attention, if you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out, because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They are experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and will fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What's the mystery behind Mystery Valley Golf Course? Is it the fact that it's been voted one of Atlanta's must-play courses? Or is it the fact that it's conveniently located from anywhere in Atlanta? Or maybe it's because Mystery Valley has recently renovated the course, adding all new tipped Bermuda putting greens, upgrading all 66 sand bunkers, and improving the clubhouse and amenities all around. No matter what it is, Mystery Valley Golf Club has been a staple of the Atlanta golf community for many years, and it reopened with the new renovations. Now is the perfect opportunity to make a tee time and enjoy a round of golf at Mystery Valley, located next to Stone Mountain in Lithonia, taking all of the beautiful natural scenery while enjoying a fantastic round of golf. Go to MysteryValleyGolfCourse.com to book tee times. But one question will always remain: how did Mystery Valley get its name?
Keep up with all of our shows and the latest headlines by following Extra 106.3 on Instagram, X, Facebook, Truth Social, and all your social media platforms. Plus exclusive giveaways and more. So follow now at XTRA 1063.
I used to like the Village People songs. There were a couple of songs I would listen to. I'm not ashamed to say.
There's no need to feel down. I said, young man.
I didn't say I wanted to be one. I said part of it. What was there? An Indian chief and a cop and who else? A construction worker? Construction cop, Indian chief, and was that it? How many? There were 4 of them, weren't there? I don't even know. Flounder, do you have any idea how many village people? What were they? A cop, a fireman? No, a cop, an Indian, and a construction guy, I think.
You want to know how I know you're gay?
All right, here we go. We got a...
1, 2, 3. I do the sign. I don't know how to do the sign. Yeah, you know how to do the sign, but...
Who doesn't?
All right. We got an Indian, a cop, a cowboy, a Navy guy, a construction worker, and a guy with a leather outfit he's in the SS.
We all walk into a bar, and what happens?
We forgot the cowboy in the Navy.
They all bend over.
Village people in 2006, on this day, Victor Willis, who was the policeman in the Village People, was given 3 years probation because he was doing drug stuff. He pleaded no contest to it, dating from a few months before. Mr. Willis co-wrote some of the biggest hits, including YMCA and In the Navy. So there you go. And Village People. We got more of phone calls take priority. First, Don, you're on the radio. Happy Let Her Rip Friday, man. How's it going? What's up?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you all about a podcast that I've been listening to that helps when you feel like, we're down and out and conservatives are going to lose. It's called Barry Cunningham's Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Yeah.
And he does everything all Trump, all of his speeches, and it's on YouTube Music. Our YouTube podcast,
and
probably YouTube.
And what are you saying about? Is it a good thing or a bad thing, or what's your comment about it?
It's a great thing. It'll help us deal with the stress involved with possible shiftless and lazy Kamala.
I got
you. Winning, yeah.
Excellent.
'Cause I know you get real tense stuff, and I'm just it helped me, and I do too.
I've never heard that before, Gary. Don,
love you, man.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate that very much. Anything we can do to help people kind of get together again. In fact, and thank you, Don. In fact, I was doing my little flirty thing with that little cutie little chick at the Publix the other day, and if you're talking about how there's so much division and stuff in this country today that it's really nice to just have a happy smile once in a while. So it was kind of cool. To the phones, Rick the Painter. You're on the radio. Let Her Rip Friday. Rick, what's up?
Hey, Brother Kimmer, I love you, man. From one harmonica player to another.
Yes, sir.
National Harmonica Day. Hey, brother. Anyway, hey, Pete, I was up around mountains of Macon for Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
And I was around Pete's area, and I was having a good time, just enjoying all the wilderness, and I was camping out, and I was thinking about Pete, because he's probably seen this. Now, I haven't never seen this before. It was the dangest thing I ever seen. But, of course, horses and cows. There was a cow up there close to us and a bunch of little kittens. And the dangest thing, this cow would lay down and let those little kittens drink her milk. I couldn't, but it was beautiful. But the thing was, there were more kittens than there were udders. They were bouncing around trying to fight for an udder. It was like 10 kittens, and it was just utter chaos.
It was utter chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Wow! Golly! That was. I don't know if I could take that kind of. My cheeks are kind of burning from just the laugh marks alone.
He realized that you skipped the part where I do the dumb joke to start the show, so he filled the void.
So I was wondering when it was coming. I figured, for God, you'd do it during tweets or something later. I swear to God. Thank you. Anyway, Rick the Painter, right there. Always enjoy talking to our fans.
This isn't a joke, but you reminded me of something I tried to do. I tried to eat something last night I've never eaten before in my life, and everyone's always talked about it because it tastes like chicken.
Yeah,
I got hold of some alligator meat.
Oh yeah.
So I tried to cook alligator last night, and then I realized I only have a crock pot.
A crock pot. Oh, hey, hi. Oh, God. Well, see, there you are. Rick the Painter, see what you've done.
We're complete.
Oh, good Lord.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, just a second. By the way, our birthday list includes Idris Elba, good actor. Idris Elba is 52 years old today. And the non-birthday from Flounder's List of Tomorrow is Julie Kravner. She was Marge on The Simpsons and also Rhoda's little sister or friend or roommate or whoever it was in Mary Tyler Moore's sister, I guess, yeah. And on this day in history, in 1939, South Africa, which here's the guy writing this from the Flounders thing. 1939, South Africa, which oppressed blacks, declared war on Germany, which oppressed Jews. Remember, class, 1939 was not a good time to be Sammy Davis Jr., ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty cool.
Wait a second.
Well, blacks, Jews, you see, Sammy Davis Jr. was, Anyway, 357, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder here on 404-741-1230 with Flounder's Funnies.
There's no doubt that mom and dads give off different memories. Like when you smell fresh-baked cookies, you think of mom. When you smell a backed-up toilet, think of dad. I remember my dad tucking me in bed at night saying those three little words, pull my finger. And once you become a dad, you really learn to appreciate your dad. I remember the first year that I was a dad at Christmas, and I'm having to put together a dollhouse that has like 3,000 pieces to it at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember thinking, man, my dad did this for 3 kids. And he was drunk.
Jeff Foxworthy, 66 years old today. It's his birthday, and the Flounder is paying a little tribute to one of our friends. And I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say anything bad about Jeff Foxworthy. I don't think he's ever.
Why would you? Because the guy's just done so much for Atlanta and so much stuff.
He seems like just a really terrific guy. I mean, and it's just, I guess there are a lot of them like that. But you hear a lot of things about comedians who are brilliant at what they do, but they're really kind of freaky. They're, troubled inside. And Jeff Foxworthy just seems like a really great guy to have as a neighbor or a friend.
He's got an open invitation. Anytime he wants to call in or come on the show, Jeff Foxworthy is welcome.
And if he has a charity to plug or something, we're anything we can do. Absolutely, we appreciate guys like that. Coming up now, here's the latest. Apparently now a new transcript has come out about the suspected he isn't suspected. The school killer, the suspected killer, was ridiculed by classmates and frequently called gay. And we got a whole bunch of that coming up. And also, J.D. Vance saying, nice going, AP, you big freaking liars. The media, once again, trying to ruin everything. Coming up at 4 o'clock, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230.
WFOM and 292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Voters will go to the polls without knowing whether one candidate is going to prison. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The sentencing for former President Trump on 34 counts of falsifying business records in a hush money related case is postponed again.
This is, at least right now, a temporary political win for former President Donald Trump, as the sentencing for his Manhattan criminal case will now happen after the November election on November 26th. And then 2 weeks prior to that, Judge Merchan on November 12th will rule on whether or not his conviction should be thrown out because of that Supreme Court decision on presidential immunity.
Fox's Nate Foy, Judge Merchan writing he wants to avoid any possible appearance of using sentencing to affect the upcoming election. The former president is set to speak in North Carolina after picking up the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police, the nation's largest police union. This as Vice President Kamala Harris picks up the endorsements of more than 100 law enforcement officials and more than 90 business leaders. Harris is in Pennsylvania prepping for next week's debate with Trump. President Biden is in Michigan continuing an Investing in America tour after releasing a statement earlier today on a jobs report that fell short of what economists expected.
President Biden says he and the vice president are fighting to expand opportunity and grow the middle class, saying businesses investing in America and entrepreneurs opening small businesses are acts of hope and confidence in the economy. The Labor Department says employers added 142,000 jobs last month, considerably more than July. The unemployment rate fell from 4.3% to 4.2%.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Job numbers for July and June were revised lower. All of this adding to some anxiety about this month's Fed meeting. The Dow down 410 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
I got it now. I got to tell you, I have no idea who this is. I'm reading it, of course, I'll know here in a moment. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 403 on 106.3. Hope you're doing well. Let Her Rip Friday. And 2004, Jamiroquai singer. Is that what I'm... Jamiroquai from Jamaica? Is that what that means? I don't know what that means.
That's his name, Jamiroquai.
Oh, that's his name? Oh, my God. No, it's not his name.
That's what he goes
I like
by.
Kimmer's better. Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai. It says here, Jamiroquai singer J.K., which means...
He's the lead singer of the band Jamiroquai, but he's the main guy in the band.
Okay. I thought it maybe a style of singing. I didn't know that was a band. Sorry.
He does a mixture of like jazz and funk.
Okay. As you can kind of tell from the drum beat here and the... Yeah. J.K.'s his name.
Jamiroquai, Irish kid.
He was banned for 6 months and fined $1,000 after clocked more than 100 miles an hour driving. It was Perth Sheriff Court. So I guess this is somewhere overseas. Needed his license so he could have respite from his busy professional life. The sheriff said his conduct was entirely unacceptable, and he admitted driving a four-wheel drive vehicle at 105 miles an hour in Perthshire in February. So anyway, there you go. That's a JK, ladies and gentlemen. And on this day, birth time thing, Chris Christie, a whale of a former governor there. Chris Christie, 62. What did he ever think he was going to be president of the United States? And then remember, I mean, what a phony. He makes a rule during COVID, trying to kill virus, and nobody's allowed to go outside and everything else. And then remember the picture of him looking like a big fat beached white whale in his lawn chair by himself on the beach. He has the whole beach to himself because he banned everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord.
There she blows.
Jeez. Let's see. Flounder's tomorrow birthday list includes Gloria Gaynor, who will be 81 tomorrow. I Will Survive. Very famous song there, that lady. And let's see. On this day in 2006, President George W. Bush acknowledged for the first time the CIA was running black ops sites, secret prisons overseas, and they were using tough interrogation techniques to get the godless terrorist butchers to reveal plots to attack America and our allies. So obviously it was a good thing that worked, ladies and... Oh, sorry. 406, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Let's see. The Georgia school shooter. Here's the latest on the story here. His father's a new train. Oh, hold on, I got to do this thing. There's no way to do this right. The school shooter's father, apparently, has been a new transcript revealed. And the father has told investigators in a phone call that the bullying, he was called gay at school, and the bullying got so bad that the teen wanted to move out of the school district. I was trying to get him on the golf team like, oh, look, Colt's gay. He's dating that guy. Just ridiculed him day after day after day, said the father in the new transcript. I got a full 13-year-old Colt landed on the FBI radar, threatening to shoot up a middle school, denied it, so they let it go. The sheriff's office paid a visit to that, but this is the first time we've heard that the father actually now apparently says that he was bullied and called gay at school, which again is one of the there's going to be so
doesn't
much.
Give you the right.
No,
doesn't give you the right.
Absolutely, that's not the
punch
issue.
Him.
Again, it's just
punch him.
Bully. Again, the lesson is if you stand up to a bully, chances are it's over. Because they almost, especially in front of his friends. You embarrass a bully in front of his friends, that's the ball game. And by the way, you'll change for the better for the rest of your stinking life too when you do it the first time. I remember the first time I tried. I won't say who it was, but I encouraged a young boy who was like 12, 13 years old to finally stand up for the kids who were picking on him and bullying him, and he did. And wow. I mean, it wasn't a horrible physical thing, but it was just standing up and saying, no, that's not, and made a difference. It's hard, but boy, talk about a teaching moment. Anyway, sorry, here or there. Now, we'll get more on this kid thing. First of all, here we go, the freaking media again. Remember a few days ago, Kristen Welker from NBC deliberately lied when she was talking to, I think it was Josh Hawley, about Carmela's side piece and what a scoundrel she is, and they were talking about when he was talking about Donald Trump honoring the survivors and the families of the victims of the Afghan withdrawal when they were at the Arlington National Cemetery, and in a completely serious and wonderful ceremony, had nothing to do with politics. And then Kristen Welker, and by the way, Hawley said, and at the same time, while Donald Trump was honoring these people at Arlington National Cemetery, President Joe Washer daughter was on the beach in Delaware, and Vice President's side piece was raising money somewhere in Milwaukee or something. And so, and as Kristen Welker from NBC said, well, no, the two of them, both of them were honoring the bodies when they came back from Afghanistan. and of course, he never got a chance to answer her, but that was a brazen lie. Carmela had nothing to do with honoring the bodies, although he was looking at his watch the whole time, coming back from Afghanistan. And then when she got caught lying about it, she was trying to protect Carmela. She was telling the world on her NBC program that Carmela, shiftless and lazy, was there to honor the fallen victims of the withdrawal of Afghanistan, which was a dirty, stinking lie. And then NBC had the balls to come out and say, we want to correct something. Apparently the host implied that there was she didn't imply anything. She lied. She said it. There was no implication. She said the words. You got NBC doing this. NBC doing this. There used to be the Blue Network. The NBC Blue and Red networks in the 40s were the radio and television.
What's worse is Associated Press putting out the lie about J.D. Vance and what he said, and then all the other from the Daily Mail picking it up and running with it.
Well, here, and in fact, let me do that right now. J.D. Vance and AP, holy smokes. J.D. Vance says, here's a quote from his official people. This is another case of the fake news media brazenly lying about a Republican politician. J.D. Vance said exactly the opposite of what the Associated Press claimed, which we'll hear in a second. It should come as no surprise the AP's lost all its credibility had years ago. They all lie about literally anything in order to prop up the Democrats. We keep proving it. Meanwhile, Carmela's side piece has called for all police officers to be removed from schools, putting children all over America at risk. It's another example of how Carmela's weak, failed, dangerously liberal agenda makes her unfit for office. J.D. Vance, at a rally in Phoenix, remarked on the recent mass shooting that took place here in Barrow County in Winder. Quote, Vance said, I don't like that this is a fact of life. But if you're a psycho and you want to make headlines, you realize our schools are soft targets, and we have got to bolster security at our schools. We've got to bolster security so if a psycho wants to walk through the front door and kill a bunch of children, they're not able to. That's what he said. Okay? Here's what the headline on the AP story said. J.D. Vance says school shootings are a fact of life.
Yeah, Kamala retweeted it. Yeah.
And then it was retweeted. Talk about misleading headline. The full quote, I don't like that this is a fact of life. And then AP later had to kind of back down about it. But again, it's too late. I mean, here we go. How many times do we have to keep showing you?
If you look at the tweet, 3.4 million people saw it, but you have to look at the retraction and see how many people looked at that.
And again, it's another political scam. It reminds me, in fact, the Babylon Bee came out with another headline, which I thought was amusing if I could only find it. I got it here. So here we go. Let's see. There's a picture of Hillary Rodham Pea Stinky Fart Cabbage, and the headline under that says, "Grizzled veteran comes out of retirement for one last Russian hoax," which is exactly the case with with these people, the Democrats. Okay, now the 412, the little boy. Cold Gray admitted I did it. Unquote. The 14-year-old arrested, and he said he told the cops I did it. He was still talking after he was read his rights. His father told authorities he bought the gun for the kid himself as a Christmas gift, and that was just a few months after the teenager, again, this last Christmas, and a few months earlier, he and the father were interviewed by sheriff's deputies who got their tip from the FBI. Now, his talk about the kid's broken home life, holy cow. I'll start a little bit here, and again, I want to dwell on it. It's depressing, but again, what chance did he have? Again, you can't hold him not responsible. But
there are millions of kids who grow up in broken homes and druggy homes and white trash homes, and they don't kill people.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely correct. So again, this is not an excuse, but as an old, as a grandfather and raised, I mean, it's just you can't help but think about how the hell this was allowed to go on. A woman who lived next door named Lauren said that there were problems immediately when the Grays and their 3 kids moved into the well-manicured neighborhood east of Atlanta in 2022. There were nights when the mom would lock him and his sister out of the house. They would be banging on the back door, screaming, "Mom, Mom, Mom," and crying. It was absolutely devastating. Sometimes the youngest child would come to her backyard asking for food. There were never any clean clothes. She said, "I'm not exaggerating." Constant abuse. Very, very sad. The dad beat up on him. I mean, not physically maybe, but screaming and hollering. He did the same thing to my daughter. According to another guy named Charles, the mom, Marcy, was LinkedIn. It says on LinkedIn that she's a quality engineer at a manufacturer. Lengthy criminal history, 17 years of arrests, including 4 Georgia counties, domestic violence. She's had an order to keep away from her husband after beating him, drug possession, property damage, traffic violations, driving under the influence charges, DUI, civil fraud, faking vehicle purchases. She was locked up in Ben Hill recently as April. She left the family home. She was told not to go back. The neighbor said I'd find her in the driveway passed out with a car still running and blaring music early in the morning. She claims habitually abused drugs and alcohol. She would take her kids to daycare or pre-K driving them like that. And we got so much more. 414, Let Her Rip Friday. Let's have a little fun today coming up. Kimber Pete Bottom. We got.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
The disgusting saga of the 14-year-old school shooter in Winder gets curiouser and curiouser. First of all, the mother, Marcy, has quite the criminal history, it seems. She has a criminal record spanning more than 17 years and 4 counties. Been in jail several times, and there's one charge of family violence in there. And the father has now been charged with second-degree murder. Involuntary manslaughter, 8 counts of cruelty to children. Now, at first glance, why go after the father? Well, the father did say, yeah, there's guns in the house, but they are secured and my son only uses them with adult supervision. Then it turns out that the father bought an AR-15 style rifle for his kid for Christmas last year. Bear in mind that about 7 or 8 months earlier, his son was questioned by authorities about threats to commit a school shooting that he had posted on a gaming site. What do you want to bet the gaming site involved a lot of shooting? Oh, no, the kid says, I was hacked. That wasn't me. And the investigation apparently went no further. Then in light of this, he buys a long rifle for his kid for Christmas. Okay, will the charges hold up? That'll be determined in court. But I like it because it's a message to other parents out there who know that their son or daughter might be troubled, might be a problem, and then go out and buy them a weapon. Maybe across the country, if this gets enough publicity, some other father will say, no. In fact, I'm locking every gun in this house up and watching my kid like a hawk. I don't know, sounds to me like a pretty good case of badly negligent parents who deserve this charge being brought against them. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug with election season in full swing and football on everybody's mind. Don't forget that fall's just around the corner. As those leaves start to drop, your gutters and roof might need some attention. Southern Exteriors has been protecting homes across the Southeast. Whether you need gutter cleaning, want to add gutter covers, or both, now's the time to get it done. Plus, with any cleaning job, you'll get a free roof inspection. Call Southern Exteriors today at 8779-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.ca. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Hey everybody, it's Neil Bortz, an actual attorney spokesperson for Vance Law. Notice the heavy traffic out there? Yep, school's back in session. Things can happen. Sometimes people aren't that careful. Maybe an accident. But David Van Sant, he's there to help smooth the way for you if somebody you love gets hurt. Call Van Sant Law at 855-GA-INJURY. 855-GA-INJURY. First call after 9/11, Van Sant Law. 855-GA-INJURY.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Oh, my. I don't remember this song. Yeah. Boogie time, is that what he's saying? I understand the words there. Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire, 2001. Earth, Wind, and Fire announced that their sponsor for their upcoming 30th anniversary American tour would be Viagra. Okie dokie. Earth, Wind, and Fire, same as Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Chicago, depending on how many trombones they bring to the band there. So, our birthday list includes Joanne Worley. Oh, remember she did that little high yelling hello thing from Laugh-In. Joanne Worley, and many other things, but Joanne Worley is 88 years old today. And let's see, on this day in history. I'll read this as it's written. This is, again, I have my own history thing and birthdays, and Flounder has one that he prints up for me, too. This is the Flounders guy saying this about in history. 1995 on this day, LAPD scumbag Mark Furman, that's what he's writing here, helped destroy an airtight prosecution by invoking his Fifth Amendment right to save his ass when he was called back to the witness stand at the O.J. Simpson trial. Well, that sounds a little harsh. I don't think that's the reason that O.J. got off. Anyway, so whatever. Unfortunate. It's 421. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Our 4 o'clock hour brought to you by the home of the Kimmer safes. It's Atlanta Safe House. You need a safe, for goodness sakes. Take it from me when I lost my stuff down in Florida because it didn't have, you know the whole deal. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and if you look them up on the web, you'll see all those great deals. And they're going to pay all the sales tax. You buy any safe and all safes you right now for the rest of the year. Atlanta Safe House will pay the sales tax for you. 421. Another quick thing. Alfonso, we got a little audio here. This was just released from a visit last year to the home of the charged school killer. And the kid was 13 years old at the time, and the police were tipped off by the FBI that there could have been an issue with a potential threat over bombing another school. This began a year ago. And so they went to the father's house, and here's a released, at least we'll play some of this for you, some audio of the father talking to the sheriff's deputies.
You have weapons in the house? I do. Are they accessible to him? They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are down. Okay. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year. Yeah. Okay. You know, so like I'm pretty much in shock, to be honest with you. Well, I'm a little pissed off, to be even really honest with you. So I'm a little taken back by the whole thing, but I can tell you this: I take that very serious, and so does he. As a matter of fact, like I don't know anything about him saying like that, and I'm gonna be mad as hell if he did. And then all the guns will go away, and they won't be accessible to him. You know, I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to teach him about firearms and safety and how to do it all and get him interested in the outdoors. Mm-hmm. Like on my phone, you get him away from those video games. Exactly right. That's the God honest truth. And the picture on my phone is him with blood on his cheeks from shooting his first deer. It was just the greatest day ever. Yeah, so he knows the seriousness of weapons and what they can do and how to use them and not use them. So it's kind of
that goes on and on for a while. Thanks, Flondo. That's plenty. That's again the father when he was interviewed about the threats that they thought came from his kid, and
so he lied.
Yeah. On the other hand, again, I mean, there's been charges against both the parents. It's just a horrible, horrible home situation. And by the way, speaking of the thing that happened here, Vice President's side piece. Let me get my froggy over here. The thing. Vice President's side piece is very quick to call for action against guns after the shooting here in Georgia. She's silent on alarming incidents involving armed Venezuelan gangs overtaking apartment buildings. I just sent another email, text. I just sent another text to my family about 8 minutes ago during the break and said, by the way, I'm watching more network news stories about the gangs' violence and taking over apartments in Aurora, Colorado, where I have family, to warn them about this stuff, because they don't watch the news, and they certainly don't watch Fox. And so, to warn them that this is serious. We're not messing around here.
There's breaking news about that. James O'Keefe has done it again. I don't know if you noticed that there's been Army and National Guard all over New York City the last week or so. People have been posting about it. Okay. He just got U.S. Army.
Oh, we just lost it.
It's controlled.
I'm sorry. Start over, Pete. We lost you. He said what? Start off from the beginning.
Hold on real quick. I'm going to reset Pete real quick. So sorry about let's get his connection done real quick.
While we're doing that, Carmela went on to say, telling gun violence is only mentioned when it fits a particular narrative, according to the other candidates against her. Harris quick to politicize the actions of a mentally ill 14-year-old, but stays silent on the dangerous violence being carried out by illegal immigrants and gangs in American cities. American law-abiding citizens deserve safety and security, and their protection should not be sidelined by political gamesmanship and deflection. Typical of these people. Anyway, but we got Pete back here? Yes, sir.
James O'Keefe has leaked U.S. Army documents. They're controlled, unclassified information docs reveal the expanding threat of Venezuelan criminal organization Tren de Aragua across New York City and outside of Denver. Basically, they have captured, conquered, and controlled bits of the American land, including in our largest city. And supposedly that's why the U.S. Army is working with the NYPD and others to look at. There's about 400 of these members of this gang living in New York City and Aurora, Colorado. And they've been telling the Democrats in charge of both cities and the state of Colorado have been telling us it's all in our imagination. It's overblown. It's no big deal. But they've literally sent the U.S. Army into Brooklyn and the Bronx and Williamsburg, New York City, to try and counter what's going on there.
Well, how come we haven't seen any gunfire? I don't understand this. It seems to me if you know where the Venezuelan gangs are that are doing gang stuff, you go get them. You knock on the door with a battering ram and say, guess what? You're all under arrest. And if somebody shows anything in terms of violence, you kill them.
That's racist, Kimmer. You can't do that. That's racist.
Jeez, I mean, give me a freaking break. That's what we're talking about. That's my family. That's your family. I mean, those are my grandkids live out there. The people are afraid to go to their freaking car or pick up the paper in the morning. Or go shopping at 9 o'clock at night or quick run to the store. What might happen to you leaving your apartment? Yeah, I mean, this is just outrageous.
They've allowed them to come in either with guns or get guns when they get here and take over land in the United States and hold it while the Democratic politicians make excuses for them.
Again, the governor of Colorado, when a woman came forward and showed video and everything else, and the governor of Colorado said, that's all in her imagination. That's not what's happening. Oh, sure, there's some bad people around, but that's just not true at all. Then the mayor of Aurora had to come out and say, well, no, they actually taken over 4 apartment complexes. Well, gee, so if you know that they have taken over 4 apartment complexes, how come they still have taken over 4 apartment complexes? I mean, I honest to God, I wish they would just go to Paris Island and Camp Lejeune and say, you know what, we need a bunch of volunteers from the Marine Corps who want to try out those new M14s and the M16s you're using for boot camp and stuff, and see if we can go get some bad guys. I mean, seriously, I can't believe that they're still functioning.
Put their heads on pikes and put it at the border.
Yeah, welcome to America. Don't forget to sign the book. Again, this all started because they're trying to get more people in to vote Democrat. And I'm telling you, just like Kamala's, all the things she's changed on. No more electric vehicles. No more closing. No more opening the border. No more criminalizing people who sneak across the border. No more. She now denies that she wants to collect all our guns in a mandatory buyback, which means confiscation. All these things, and including here's another soundbite. Flounder, let's do the Kamala side piece soundbite here. Back when she was running for president, wasn't that long ago, she was on CNN with Anderson Cooper and talk about again, this just came out the other day, all the talk about the Democrats want to have some sort of control over social media. Here's Kamala's side piece on what she thinks about freedom of speech.
That he frankly his Twitter account should be suspended.
Trump, she's talking.
I think there is plenty of now evidence to suggest that he is irresponsible with his words in a way that could result in harm to other people. And so the privilege of using those words in that way should probably be taken from him.
Whoa. She doesn't like the way he's using his words, so his privilege should be taken away. She said that.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, seriously, how do they even get away with thinking about things like this? If he's not going to exercise self-restraint, she said, then perhaps there should be some other mechanisms in place to make sure that his words do not harm anyone.
And if you see the interview, Anderson Cooper, I think, is talking to her about this. Yeah, basically, his body language, he is afraid to even bring it up. Yeah. He's like halting and can't get his words out because he doesn't know exactly how he's going to phrase it to make it sound good for her or something.
And remember, she was saying that we want to make sure that his words do not harm anyone. Says who? Harm anyone by whose standards? By the Democrat standards. Oh my God! I mean, they say these things out loud. You can't possibly be an American with any knowledge of what we are for a country as a constitution and believe in anything like that close.
They're not only agreeing with what Brazil has just done by canceling Twitter. They're applauding it.
Yeah, they think it's about time. That's how much they hate us. That's how much they hate us.
They hate their own countrymen. I don't consider them my countrymen anymore.
It's not right.
They're my enemy.
It's gone. 4:30, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go. Tweets coming up.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Tune into your new favorite show that's redefining the A to Z's of marketing, The Marketing Mad Men. We'll take you behind the scenes of successful campaigns and reveal the strategies that win. We're not just talking about marketing, we're making it happen. From viral content creation to leveraging AI for customer engagement, our experts bring you to the cutting edge of industry. This is your playbook for market dominance. Tune in and transform your approach with actionable tips that could skyrocket your ROI. The Marketing Mad Men every Saturday at 4 p.m. right here on Extra 106.3.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
If you love listening to Extra all week, make sure you're here this weekend for even more great local shows from across the community. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Ben Burnett, Janelle King, Back Your Blue, and so many more. Listen to them this weekend or anytime on the all-new Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, how's it going? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Phone call coming up. David, stand by. 434. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. There we go. They did my theme song, and I never liked this group.
They are so cool.
I know. I'm bad in every way, and they're wonderful in every way. 1990, Tom Fogerty, the rhythm guitar picker with Creedence Clearwater Revival, died. He was only 49. He had AIDS acquired from a blood transfusion. I don't think I knew that. I'd never heard that before.
I didn't know he died of AIDS. I had no idea.
From a blood transfusion.
I knew he was young.
Wow, 49 years old. During 1969, CCR scored 3 top 10 albums, 4 top 5 singles. And after leaving CCR in 1971, Fogerty released several solo albums. What's that one about baseball? Put me in, coach.
Center field.
That's like his worst song ever.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like that song.
Nobody likes that song. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's go to the
I remember
phones.
real quick when I first started board hopping, I played that as a rejoin, and people was like, "Turn that off."
Yes, stop.
Turn that.
Phone calls take priority. David, you're on the radio. Happy Friday. Let it rip. It's nice to talk to you. What's on your mind, sir?
Where to start? Kimmer, I'd just like to say I've been listening to you for years. I'm Hispanic, born and bred in Texas, former U.S. Army Ranger.
Yes, sir. Certified.
And I'm just tired of hearing people, even in my own family, talking about these folks. They just want to come and make a better life. We got no problem with that. We just want them to do it the right way. What's so hard about that?
Yeah.
What is so hard about that? And in the job that I do, which I don't want to talk about, but it's just I get tired of them being played the victim. Look, I got relatives that are on the breast of America. You know, they don't have a job. Mm-hmm. So I've seen both sides. I grew up poor. But the thing is, there's no excuse for any of us to be dragging this out and letting what's happening in our country happen. I heard what you just said about putting their heads on a pike and putting them at the border. I agree with that. I mean, I hate to say it, but people will say that we're crazy for saying that. But growing up in Texas, I used to see the illegals come over, and that's what they are, illegals. Come over and work the fields alongside me when I worked the fields.
Yeah.
But they would go back. But I've had enough.
Well,
I've had enough.
The thing is, we're all in favor of immigration. Hell, Donald Trump married an immigrant, for God's sakes. I mean, we're all in favor of legal, proper immigration. Come in, sign the book, do your thing the right way, and become an American citizen because you want to be with us instead of bringing your own country's values or something from God knows where. And again, we don't. And by the way, tell me if you don't think this is true also, David, remember Donald Trump has said over and over again that one of the problems with this illegal immigration swamp that's been, millions and millions is that countries like Venezuela are emptying their jails and mental hospitals and letting all those people come across the border into America. Donald Trump's been saying that for a long time. They're emptying their jails for all the criminals to come to America, and here they are. We see them on video. They're here. This was not a conspiracy theory, and that's got to be offensive as hell to real immigrants who did it the right way and have raised their family to be Americans as opposed to criminals. I mean, it's got to be so offensive, especially from somebody from an Hispanic background and lived in the border states. Can you imagine these days the border states? They just don't stop. I can't imagine what it must be like now.
Well, I can tell you this: my brother-in-law has been trying for years to get a citizenship. He served in the service. He was also served in the Army.
Well, that should be automatic. I don't know why that's.
But he's having the time of it, right?
God.
But yet, I ask him all the time because we're both Trump supporters.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I ask him, how do you feel? All these folks coming over getting all these stipends, and as as a joke, we always say, you know what? Why don't we just plan a trip to Mexico, come across the border illegally, and let's start getting those stipends for us.
You'd be better off. Isn't that incredible? You work here and work hard, and you'd be better off saying screw this and go and snake over and sneak back again.
Listen, I appreciate you, man. I don't want to say I agree with everything you say, but I agree with damn near everything you say. I don't want to be a follower. I do think it out. Anything you say, I do validate. That's something everybody should do, but it's true. They are emptying out their prisons and send them over here. And look, I'm not a wartime veteran. I'm not. I have been I have been in the desert, but it was during peacetime. But I can tell you this: anybody who says that we're not number one in the world, let me see you. Let me see you go over to another country, see what we saw, and then come back and tell me that when you see that flag waving in the air, that's not the most beautiful thing you'll ever see.
I'll tell you what.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
David. Thank you so much. Semper Fi and hoorah to you, my friend. 439, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. He's right. Well, hell, you go to a foreign country in a bad situation and you come back and literally kiss the ground. Hell, I did. Anyway, 440, let's call almost 40. More about a vice president's side piece for a second, if you don't mind. Remember, she was supporting the reparations bills in the Senate when she was running for president. Wasn't that long ago. She said, we need reparations. We need to have studies on this to make sure we take care of people who were discriminated against, get rid of the effects of generations of discrimination and institutional racism, and determine what can be done in terms of intervention to correct that course. She wanted a commission to collect evidence of slavery and study the role that governments had in supporting the institution of slavery and the effects of slavery and discrimination on Black Americans, with a formal apology and reparations. Slavery is America's original sin. This country has yet to atone for its atrocities visited upon generations of enslaved Americans from Africa and their descendants. Yeah, we have it. That's why we'll never have a black president. I'm pretty much up to here with the whole business about, we have to make up for years of slavery from 200 years ago. How about kiss my ass? How about the first colonies in 1625 in Massachusetts outlawed slavery? We weren't all born from white supremacists.
We're the only country within 100 years of its inception fought a war that killed 500,000 people to stop slavery. The only ones who stopped slavery within 100 years of the country being founded. The rest of the countries of the world, hundreds if not thousands of years of slavery. We ended it in less than 100 years, and it cost a civil war and 500,000 people dead to do it.
And I know they hate when we say it, but the fact of the matter is white people did that. White people ended slavery. White people elected Barack Hussein Putty-Tat. Black people, I mean...
Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act. White people did that.
I mean, my God, what are you talking about? And again, remember when Putty-Tat went to...
what's your name?
I'm sorry. We got another phone call coming in.
That's Kimmer.
There's Flounder over there.
I see Bobby. I see.
Sorry, we got some phone calls.
Well, let's take them all. Flounder,
we got Victor on the line.
Victor, you're on the radio. Happy Friday. Thanks for calling. Yes, sir. Right.
Hey, Kimmer, happy Friday. Hey, listen, Kimmer, I talk about this a lot because I do a podcast. It's called On Point with Victor. But my father came from Mexico. I have some family and property down in southern Mexico, real close to the Guatemalan border.
Wow. Yeah.
And I have seen with my own eyes the type of people that are coming over. I have family that have sat down and talked to me and said, listen, I have family down there that looked at me and said, Victor, why did you guys get rid of Trump? And I said, we didn't. Just some crazy low information voters did and some shenanigans. But they told me Donald Trump's 100% right when he talks about the criminal element that's coming across the border. Now, are they all bad? No. But it doesn't take that many bad apples to slip through that's putting us on a really bad course. And anyone who thinks that these gang members are the only ones that are coming over here and not some terrorists and really bad people. I've seen for years, Kimmer, I have been going to that border, the border town in Guatemala coming into Mexico. And never until last year and this year did I see the number of Chinese nationalists coming over. And let me tell you what I noticed first.
Yeah.
They're well clothed.
Yeah, they have briefcases.
They got phones.
Yeah, they got briefcases and attaché cases and computers and laptops.
Oh my gosh, there's no telling, but we are on the course to really having. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm afraid something bad's going to happen in this country, and they're going to try to blame Trump for it.
No, if something bad happens, it'll be because Democrats win. If Democrats win, 100%. Something bad will happen to this country. No question about it.
Well, my fear, Kimmer, is that Donald Trump will win, and which I hope. But something bad's going to happen next year or the next year under Trump's presidency, and they're going to try to blame him when it was 100%. It's the fault of the Democrats.
I'm not worried about that.
I mean, what they've done.
Yeah. Listen, thanks, man. I appreciate it. 444. I'm not worried. If Trump wins, I'm not worried about what are they going to do. And by the way, if they start something, they're really going to be asking for it. And by the way, this time we're not going to put up with it. Anyway. Oh, yeah, and by the way, Flounder, do we have time to play the Babylon Bee thing? We're talking about January 6th and all this stuff with Donald Trump. The Babylon Bee has come out with a movie, and here's it's a video, but here's the trailer for the Babylon Bee movie of I'm not even sure the title, but the most deadliest day. That's what it is. January 6th, deadliest day. The Babylon.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the heat death of the universe. These are some of the deadliest days in history. But none of them compare to the most deadliest day. January 6, 2021. Coming soon in the most epic movie event since Robot Jocks, Left Behind, or maybe even Son of the Mask. The Babylon Bee investigates the darkest day in the history of democracy.
Where were you on January 6th?
In January?
I don't remember.
Storming the Capitol, baby. No.
Scary stuff like this happened. We go on location. We bring you 100% true facts.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was murdered over 7 times.
We ask the tough questions.
Is it true that you have a Jewish space laser? This is incredibly boring. Could you explain it to me using Marvel characters?
We even go face to face with the scariest criminals you'll ever meet.
Are you the dangerous insurrection man?
Who's asking?
We're in. Into the lair of darkness I go. Darkness because he's a Republican, not because he's, Never mind.
Shame!
Shame!
this fall. The only way you can save democracy is by becoming a member of the Babylon Bee, so you can see January 6th, the most deadliest day.
We interviewed dangerous...
Where were you on January 6th?
I was in that mob that was going into the Capitol.
Yeah, Babylon Bee. Watch out as someone pushed a podium near a police officer. Solitary confinement. And by the way, if Trump and when Trump wins, I hope that he does pardon all of the non-violent offenders. Now, if you beat a cop or hit a cop with something, then you should be punished for it and be in jail. But if you walked in the territory and maybe pushed on a gate or something like that, there's no way that should be on your record. Just my opinion. 447, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Pete's tweets. Let's do that next. 1063. Right.
So-called journalists have a little trick they like to use from time to time to indoctrinate rather than to inform.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but need a trusted resource to navigate life beyond military service. The Warrior Alliance is changing thousands of lives for the better and needs your support to expand our impact. Join us for an exciting fundraising program, followed by an Atlanta Braves baseball private event on Friday, September 13th. Special guests include powerful veteran testimonies, Atlanta Braves alumnus Sid Bream, and Drivin' and Cryin's Kevin Kinney. Individual tickets and VIP tables are on sale now at thewarrioralliance.org.
Get ready for Real Talk on the Janelle King Show, where we tackle kitchen table topics that are banned from family gatherings, but crucial for a strong republic. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday for an encore episode at 9 a.m. And if you can catch us live, great. But if not, no worries. New podcasts drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park right here on Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcast. Join us for insightful conversations that matter.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, Jesse Kelly, Jimmy Vela, and Guy Benson. The biggest lineup of conservative voices in the South are on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
It froze. Thank you. There we go.
Is it stuck on you again, your computer system?
There we go.
Yeah, we're in full swing here, not to worry. 449, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on Let It Rip Friday, 106.3 with Elton John.
I've always said that one's enough to love. Now I hear you bragging while it's not enough.
I like some of his. I like Little Genie. I like a couple of his songs. I have the Little Genie, I think, on my Magic Stick, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Elton John in 1988 had 2,000 items of personal memorabilia, including boa feathers, pinball wizard boots, and hundreds of pairs of spectacles auctioned at Sotheby's in London in 1988. Elton John. What a career. Birthday list includes Swoosie Kurtz, the actress and I guess comedian. I'm not sure how to label her. Swoosie Kurtz is 80 years old today, actress. And let's see, and Flounder's tomorrow birthday list includes Chrissy Hind, 73, lead singer of The Pretenders. Middle of the road, back on the chain gang.
You don't get to do tomorrow's birthdays too.
I didn't want to offend. I didn't want to offend Flounder. Went to the bother of putting it out. I'm not going to ignore the man. He's part of the team. And now,
Flounder,
he doesn't get enough credit. From now on, you dub the Flounder. Why Flounder? Why not? On this day in 1986, Bananarama had the #1 single with Venus. a song that originally went number one for the Dutch pop group The Shocking Blue. And then the song Venus became the girl leg shaver song. Remember the commercial for girl leg shaving things? I'm your Venus, I'm your fine something or other, and they shave legs. I swear to God, I'm sure.
Well, that was their Venus was a remake of the one from the 60s. So,
well, that could be possible. So anyway, the Dutch group, yeah.
Have you ever seen the thing where there's three of them, Bananarama, but they go on tour now with just two of them, and they show up at some hotel or something, and the guy doesn't believe it's them because there's only two of them. It's pretty funny.
Well, I didn't know that was the thing. 451 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Coming up, we're going to hear Liz Cheney's endorsement, which has caught her in another lie back when she was supposedly a conservative. Also, Hunter Biden gives us the reason why he has decided that he should have pled guilty for all those charges, even though he's not going to get a deal on it. Republicans call it a vindication. Also, the Falcons have a great... Now, Pete Davis, Holy Crap at Sports, are you going to mention anything about the stadium list of vendors and stuff at all on your sports thing?
No.
This is pretty cool. And also, by the way, I'm going to mention that coming up, I think it's next week, is the Atlanta Food and Wine Festival. And I'm just pay a little tribute to them. Although do you know the tickets for the Food and Wine Festival in Atlanta at the Fourth Ward partner coming up next week for the I guess it's it's the day they do the special wine and food thing. $139 for the day. And everything is included, the dinner and the drinks and walking around and stuff like that. $139 tickets. And I'll bet they have great food, though. I saw I got kind of an article about it. I'll bet it's terrific. Anyway, 452 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
He's not looking at you.
He's not. He's seeing it. Hey, Flounder.
Not paying attention to
hey, Flounder. I've been waving this for like 4 minutes. What happened? No, that's all right. No, we got Pete. We got tweets. We got Pete's tweets.
Farm Girl Carrie tweets, electric vehicle owners should only be allowed to charge their cars using solar and wind power. Otherwise, it's just pretend.
How funny would that be?
Yeah.
Have a windsock on your electric car.
Flounder points out school shootings weren't a problem for Generation X. It started with Generation RX.
The drug RX pharmacy thing. Yes, indeed.
That's
good
true.
Point. Good point, Flounder.
Babylon Bee headline reads, Ukraine unveils new missile fueled by burning U.S. dollars. Also, the Babylon Bee. Trump prepares for debate against Kamala by going to bar and arguing with drunk women.
Yeah.
Also from the Bee, after motorcade involved in fender bender, Tim Walz adds Purple Heart to resume.
What a scoundrel. God.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo, Hercules, tweets, the media forgot about Biden so fast you think it was a botched Afghanistan withdrawal, a fire in Maui, a train wreck in Ohio, a Venezuelan apartment takeover, or an assassination of Trump.
What a great point.
It is. Journalist Glenn Greenwald tweets, a major part of the prosecution of Hunter Biden, which he just pleaded guilty to, were materials found on his notorious laptop. The same laptop, corporate media and the CIA falsely declared Russian disinformation weeks before the 2020 election. Not one media outlet which spread this lie has retracted it.
That's exact. Nor have the people who signed the document. Of course, they wouldn't because they still, used it as fake.
A reckoning is coming. And finally, Aaron posts, someone asked me if I had plans for the fall. It took me a minute to realize they were talking about autumn, not the collapse of civilization.
By the way, speaking of those, I remember in the Trump case where the Access Hollywood tape came out and Trump was caught off on camera or off mic actually talking about women and how they will let you do stuff, things like that. Media people read those comments. And so people in America all knew about those things, but they never read any of the comments off the Hunter Biden laptop, did they? You never heard the media anchorman reading the comments off of Hunter Biden's laptop about hookers and cocaine and sniffing things off his testicles and everything else. Nobody ever read that stuff on the air to talk about that and put that in the stuff. I mean, bunch of freaking phonies, man. Unbelievable. And then Hunter has the balls to come out today and say the reason that he pleaded guilty was to spare his family. It was such anguish I caused my family. I don't want to put them through it again. I failed to file and pay my taxes on time. My ass. His lawyer said, well, like everybody else, he's late with his taxes. No. He refused to pay his taxes for 6 years. That wasn't being late with your taxes. That was not paying your taxes. Unbelievable. Anyway, and of course the Republicans are saying this is true vindication. We now know that all that stuff was true. Hey, Flounder's funny. Oh, double Flounder.
But for those of you that may not know if you're a redneck or not, they asked me to do a few to try to help you out. If you own a home that is mobile and 14 cars that aren't, you might be a redneck. If you take your dog for a walk and you both use the tree at the corner, you might be a redneck. If you refer to the 5th grade as my senior year, you might be a redneck. If you prefer car keys to Q-tips, you're wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. If the most common phrase heard in your house is somebody go jiggle the handle, you might be a redneck. If you've ever taken a beer to a job interview, you might be a redneck. If you see a sign that says say no to crack and it reminds you to pull your jeans up.
Jeff Foxworthy is 66 years old today. And one of the great gentlemen, one of the great Southern gentlemen, and apparently a great guy. I've never spent any time with him, met him personally or anything else, but I think the world of him for what he's done and what he means. And I think everybody else probably feels the same. I don't think I've ever heard a bad word about Jeff Foxworthy. Nope. And here's a bizarre story about a woman who's well known on social media. She lives in Melbourne, Central Florida. Her name is Rebecca Tate. She's 23. She's a harpist and a pianist, and she does ballroom dancing. And you apparently can see her on the internet and on social media stuff. Well, she was driving her SUV in Florida the other day when she apparently saw a guy riding a motorcycle, and she went through the intersection and slammed into him, crashed into the motorcycle. His helmet came flying off, and she left him in the middle of the roadway with life-threatening injuries and then kept driving. Unfortunately, the ballerina pulled into a parking lot of a Hyundai dealership with a motorcycle still attached to the front of her vehicle. She ran into the guy on the motorcycle, sent him flying, and the motorcycle was stuck in her bumper, in her undercarriage. So she pulled into the parking lot and said, I got this thing under my car here. I don't know what's going on at all. She even tried to free the thing at one point by herself, according to the police. She gave up and then made a phone call. Somebody picked her up in a black sedan, and off she went. Well, they caught her, obviously. And the mother of the victim says, I can't believe what your circumstances are, lady. You left my son to die in the middle of the road. He was on an ICU on a ventilator. It's going to take him 6 months or a year to learn how to walk again, no matter what your problem is. A woman apparently said that she has a problem with blacking out. And let's see. The guy said, thank God another motorist came by and basically saved his life. Saw the debris every place. But this, I mean, my God, 23-year-old woman, and off you go. I don't get it. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Holy Crap at Sports coming up. Also, Reset the Deal, what's going on with the politics and the school shooter, and your calls at 404-741-1230. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder on 106.3. Let It Rip Friday. Ball game. Braves are in town all through the weekend. 404-741-1230, Leon.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
It a case that should never have been brought. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former President Trump just offering his reaction to today's decision from the judge in his New York hush money case, postponing the sentencing until after Election Day, November 26th.
The Manhattan DA witch hunt against me has been postponed because everyone realizes that there was no case.
The judge writing that he wants to avoid even the appearance of trying to influence the election. Trump was convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records and could face several years in prison. The judge also plans to rule after Election Day on Trump's motion to toss out the case over the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity. Trump's day began in a New York courtroom for arguments in his appeal of last year's verdict finding him liable for sexual abuse and defamation against writer E. Jean Carroll, who was awarded millions of dollars. Trump says Carroll made up the story about a dressing room assault. His lawyers argue some evidence should not have been allowed at that trial, including a different accuser's assault claim. Trump running mate J.D. Vance visiting the southern U.S. border in San Diego, accusing Vice President Kamala Harris of wanting an open border.
She ended Donald Trump's Remain in Mexico policy, and she re-implemented the catch and release disaster that allows a lot of illegal aliens to commit fraud on our asylum system.
Harris says she would sign a border security bill if elected, blaming Trump for killing a bipartisan proposal this year. The 14-year-old boy accused of killing 2 students and 2 teachers at his Georgia high school Wednesday makes his first court appearance.
In essence, you are charged with 4 counts of felony murder.
The boy's father facing the same Superior Court judge in a separate hearing. He's charged with second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and cruelty to children, accused of knowingly allowing access to the gun. The father could spend the rest of his life in prison if convicted. America is listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right up leg. Ready on your dog targets. Herp, herp, herp. Road guards out. Herp, help, herp, Attilio. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. I was just thinking of something. Pete Davidson Flounder, Letter Rip Friday, 404-741-1230. I was just thinking of something I heard earlier this morning. The latest change on the flip-flop from Carmela side piece is that now she no longer wants to ban plastic straws. Remember when that was an issue a couple of years ago when the country was going nuts over all these plastic straws which just never disintegrate in the environment and all this kind of thing. And Carmela was one of the big, of course, this is San Francisco is where it started. And of course, she was one of the big political leaders out there, running for president and everything else. And she wanted to ban all the plastic straws. And now she changed her mind. She apparently is no longer on the electric car beat. She's no longer wants to ban plastic straws. And it was a great idea when Donald Trump shows up for the debate, which is next Tuesday, which, by the way, I mean, I'm so excited about that. They're allowed to bring a drink. They're allowed to bring a glass of water or something like that. Trump should bring a straw, a plastic straw, and ask her whether she still wants to ban them.
The funny thing is the paper straws have more chemicals and are worse than the plastic straws.
Yeah,
and
plus you need
trees to make the paper.
And the paper straws were wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the whole very idea. But again, now she's had to back down against the electric vehicle business. In fact, I forgot the name of the company. There's a foreign company or name that has that their whole process is making electric vehicles, and they're saying we're going to stop. We're going to do hybrids. We just can't. There's no money. We can't do it. The whole thing's ridiculous. I mean, one day it might be a thing. Anyway, 505-404-741-1230. Holy Crap at Sports coming up, and Flounders Funnies, and we got all kinds of stuff. A couple of quick things on the Hamas business and the Jew business, and then we'll get to the Jewish business, and then we'll get to the school shooter thing too. You remember back when all the big protests were going on at the Ivy League schools, especially at Columbia. One of the protesters infamously demanded humanitarian aid and a glass of water for all the Jew haters occupying the campus. All those Hamas-loving Jew haters were denied humanitarian aid. The guy who said that is Jonathan King Slutzy, a hyphenated doctoral student at Columbia. He was demanding that we show some respect for these Jew haters. Well, now he's teaching a course called Contemporary Western Civilization at Columbia, and the course is required for undergraduates to take. So this guy who was calling for the Jew haters to be treated with decency, he said it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation, or get severely ill even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should show basic humanitarian aid on campus we're asking for.
What if the answer is yes?
Yeah, we already vote for that. Don't try to convince us.
Really. We're already doing it.
You don't need to persuade me. Oh, my God. And now he's teaching a course in Western civilization. I mean, is this maybe not a good point? Is this not maybe like we've been saying all along? I mean, here we go again. Good Lord. I mean, just freaking unbelievable. Okay, 507-404-741-1230. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. We got newsy stuff coming up here. The Stormy Daniels case as sentencing for Donald Trump. He faces 4 years in prison, and this is the case with Stormy where the so-called paying her off and so forth, when actually what he did was just write checks and do what his lawyer told him to do. Anyway, he's appealing all this stuff. The sentencing for that case with Judge Juan Marchand has now been delayed until after the election. It'll be on November 26th. And if Donald Trump wins the election, he still won't be president, he'll be president-elect. Do you think that would have any basis or impact on the judge sentencing him if he would be sentencing a future and former president? I don't know.
I read on Twitter, someone said if he wins the presidency, they'll drop it. If he loses, he's going to go to jail.
Yeah,
they'll throw the book at him.
Or they'll try and kick him out of office.
Yeah, they'll try to keep him from taking office as a convicted felon.
Could be a ploy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's, no matter what, there's more Supreme Court cases coming in on this. There's no way that, and by the way, he's also appealing.
Thank God we have a conservative Supreme Court.
Yeah, thank God.
Majority.
Which has already ruled that, doing your official duties is not a criminal offense. You can't be prosecuted for doing your official duties. Then the question is, what's an official duty, of course, but at least they said it. They put it in writing. And by the way, he's also, Donald Trump was convicted of 34 counts in the Stormy case. He's also trying to appeal the other defamation case where the Eugene Carroll business, where he supposedly raped her in a closet or something. He said again today, I don't even know the woman. And of course, he was never convicted of rape. He was convicted of fondling her. And wasn't that like a $300 million fine or some ridiculous thing like that, as I recall correctly? How could that possibly stand before anybody? How could a jury or a judge rule that a guy who theoretically humped or felt up a woman in a coat room could be forced to pay her $350 million?
And then she went on CNN and
bragged about it.
Yeah, I'll buy you something and I'll buy you something.
Yeah, and she also bragged about the women sometimes just need to be taken. Remember all those other quotes from past things she has said before. I'm pleased. And again, he said, I don't even know the girl. I don't understand any of this. 509, and again today in court, today here locally, of course, the kid case, the shooting case, which, when you read more and more about the family life, again, it's no excuse, but what chance did this kid have? And both the father and son appeared in court today in Barrow County up in Winder, charged as an adult, the 14-year-old, 4 counts of murder plus other things as well. The judge said, you will not be eligible for the death penalty, but you will be eligible for penalty of life in prison without parole. Now think about that, 14 years old, and you could be told you're not getting out ever. You could spend 70 or 80 years in a cell with other guys having sex with you because you look like a girl and you want to be a girl, apparently, and so they think you're, whatever.
Well, what if he gets transferred to a...
Well, if he want now again, and I don't know whether anything's ever come up of that, but people are saying that they think he wanted to transition. They were accusing him of being gay. I don't know whether that's got any truth to it or not. I don't know. Nothing. Again, he's only 14. How much evidence could there be? And again, it doesn't matter at all. But still, the maximum penalty, life with no parole. He could get life with parole. Or less. He could get something less than that, the judge, I think. I'm not sure the judges would be forced to require a life sentence. I don't know. The father appeared in court also, and the father is charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. And by the way, I've always kind of wondered about this. If you're charging him with murder of the 4 people, how can you also charge him with involuntary manslaughter? Oh, that must be for the other people who were shot. I'm sorry. Of course. I forgot the other. We kept forgetting about that. Again, they haven't really told us how many of the other people in the hospital were shot, how many were hurt, how many were...
I think all 9 were shot.
All 9 were shot. Again, we don't have much... But again, those were the charges for the father because he bought the kid the gun and gave it to him as a Christmas present. And again, the Christmas present he gave him last year, and last year, a few months before Christmas, was when the GBI showed up because the FBI tipped him off that the kid may be involved in planning a school shooting. And so that's when they went to the house. And then even after that, the father bought him a semi-automatic, 1-pull, 1-shot rifle, a hunting rifle. And again, for the record, I heard the guy, I didn't write down his name, I should have, the former DA and Georgia Sheriff's Association legal advisor. I saw him say this out loud. He was talking about why the father was charged, and he was talking about how the father saying that he taught his son hunting and so forth. And this Georgia Sheriff's Association legal advisor and ex-assistant DA said, well, the AR-15 is not a hunting gun, unquote, is not a hunting gun, unquote. Yes, it is a hunting gun. It's a target practice gun. It's a hunting gun. It's a never shoot it at all gun.
Rabbits.
You could take it out and shoot it at the dump. You could shoot tin cans with it. It's a Coke bottle shooting gun. It's anything you want it to be. It's maybe just a piece you have in your closet because you like to look at it once in a while. What business is it of yours what the freaking gun is used for unless you're breaking the law? Then it's your business. And by the way, again, let's remember this. Kamala's side piece, the shiftless and lazy vice president wants to be your latex salesman, has also now apparently backtracked on the business of her mandatory buyback. Again, when they say buyback, it's not a buyback. They're going to come to your door and say, we're taking your guns and we're going to give you some money in exchange for them, but we're taking your guns. I'll say, okay, bullets first. They're all yours. Bring some friends. God, that's now she's pretending she didn't really mean that. God, why are you believing these people? 5:13, Kira Pete and Flounder. A little sports action coming up here. Here we go. A little fun here.
Extra 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, Extra is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3 FM, and listen across Georgia on the Extra app.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet. We're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Election coverage is more than polls and numbers. It's about what matters in your life and your community. And Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station cares about your community, your voice, and most importantly, your vote. So keep it all here for the latest and download the Extra 106.3 app and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
I just saw a thing. The morning show on MSNBC claims that the media is biased in favor of Donald Trump. Morning show said that. Oh, my God.
It's just...
oh, my God. Biased in favor of Trump. Hey, holy crap at sports. Here's Pete Davis.
Toronto comes to town for 3 games this weekend at Truist Park starting tonight, which means there will be Canadians about. I'm sorry, a boot.
A boot,
there will be
yes.
Canadians a boot.
Now, of course, we
so
know.
So be prepared to...
Yes.
Oh, okay, bring it back around. Come on, let's do it.
Later on, I'll do my Canadian
Don't do
story.
it now.
Well, the Kimmer became a man in Montreal with a professional woman riding a 1964 Mustang convertible with Pete the driver, and I was a shotgun. We went to Montreal and we drive by and drinks for these girls, and finally I said, well, we're not going to keep drinking. She says, okay. So anyway, so we get to the place, and she's a knockout, gorgeous chick, and I wanted to try to kiss her. No to kiss. She wouldn't let me kiss her. That's all I wanted to do, really, anyway. It was a horrible experience, just horrible, awful experience, but no to kiss has never left my mind. I just wanted to kiss her. She was so pretty. Anyway, sorry, Pete.
I could see if we were playing the Expos of Montreal. But these are the Blue Jays of Toronto. But anyway,
it's Canada. It's Canada.
But it's Canada, so there'll be Canadians roaming about tonight. Yes. So be prepared to see throngs of extremely pale Canucks wandering around the ballpark. Get ready to smell a lot of coconut sunscreen, even for the night game. And gird your loins to see humans putting gobs of mayonnaise on perfectly good hot dogs. I'm telling you. Former Braves right-hander Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays. He's 12-10 against the 8-8 Max Fried. Whit Merrifield back in the lineup, batting second and playing second after he got that little knock on the head by the ball the other day.
Yeah, wow.
Jorge Soler in right, Jared Kelenic in left field. It is NASCAR night at the old ballpark.
Oh, cool.
All right. Last night, Reynaldo Lopez took the loss despite giving up only 2 solo homers and striking out 11. But Colorado took the last game of the series 3-1 as once again the Braves offense took a night off. So now they're 8 games behind Philly and are tied with the Mets for the final National League wild card spot. The race begins tonight.
That's right,
That's
boy.
for sure.
Everyone now.
The Falcons open their season Sunday in Mercedes-Benz Stadium against Pittsburgh. Steelers say quarterback Russell Wilson is now questionable for Sunday, so you can expect Justin Fields probably to play or play a lot.
Yeah.
Good news, it seems like Kyle Pitts and Nate Landman will be ready to play for the Falcons. Now, here's what the numbers say about who should win. AtlantaFalcons.com did a deep dive in the numbers, and the Falcons are undefeated against AFC opponents in Week 1 at home. But Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin has never lost to Atlanta. The Falcons are 29-29 all-time in season openers. For you Clemson fans, that's 50-50. That total breaks down to 15-10, which is 60% win rate at home, 14-19, which is 42% on the road. Atlanta started playing in the Benz back in 2020. They're 1-3 at home in the Benz. Pittsburgh is 33-26-3 all-time in season openers. And the Falcons and Steelers have only ever faced off once in Week 1. Pittsburgh won 15-9 at home in 2010. That was one of Tomlin's 4 career victories against Atlanta. Again, he's never lost to the Falcons.
I don't understand why people spend time looking up things. How is it possible that any other year's opening game of the season has anything to do with what they're going to play in our opening season game? I mean, the teams are different.
Lady,
I mean, it's just stupid. What's that got to do with anything?
She works at AtlantaFalcons.com. It is her job to do things like this, and she does a very good job on it. So, and it keeps somebody employed.
But I'm waiting for someone. I'm waiting for someone to say, since the Falcons are only 23-27 on opening day, therefore that means what? That this year is not. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. I don't know why it's a thing. It does what? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, you always got to top me, my friend. You're always complaining about it. Anyway,
be very careful.
NFL season got underway last night in Kansas City. The Chiefs held off Baltimore 27-20. Pretty good game. A last-second touchdown by the Ravens overturned when replay showed wide receiver Lively's toe was barely on the back line of the end zone when he caught the ball. And we were wrong yesterday. The game was on NBC, so most people could watch it. Yeah, pretty good. Tonight, Green Bay and Philadelphia travel to the Banana Republic of Brazil, where free speech is now forbidden, or shall I say verboten, in a language the Brazilian government will understand. The NFL, which never misses a chance to lecture us Americans about social issues, refuses to comment on all this because it could affect their revenue stream with a new partner, even though Commissioner Roger Goodell himself cannot tweet while he is down in Sao Paulo. Meanwhile, reporters are still trying to cover the game. Some are sending emails to their friends and relatives back here in the States, who then turn it to a tweet and put it on Twitter. It's called American ingenuity. Don't think this can't happen here. And by the way, are you going to watch tonight's game, Kimmer?
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm going to the stable because there's a concert, Dirk Bentley concert, so I'm going to go to the stable. I'll get home around 8 o'clock, so I probably will try to watch something.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh, no.
Do you have Peacock?
No, I have it available. I see it on the bottom of my TV screen, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to get it.
Click on it.
Well, I don't know what that, but I don't. But with which thing? With my TV remote or with my cable remote? See,
with the thing you usually have in your hand when you're sitting on the couch.
Well,
I don't know.
That's a whole other story.
But I think you'd have to sign up once you click onto it.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
I'm too
keep
scared.
moving here.
I'm too nervous.
The bad news for Florida continues. Gators receiver Khalil Jackson missing the rest of the season. He got a knee injury he suffered in practice.
Oh, boy.
Iconic Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge is 100 years old this year. Amazing. Anything built in New Orleans or Louisiana, 100 years old is still standing. But anyway, to celebrate, LSU has enhanced the lighting and scoreboard displays. But rest assured, by you Bengals fans, the same timekeeping habits of slowing the clock down when the Tigers need more time at the end of a game will still be a standard feature. They've done that. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There was a sign. They did that against Ole Miss once back in the 60s or 70s. And Mississippi put a sign entering Louisiana, says, now entering Louisiana, set your clocks back 1 minute. More negative stories come out of Deion Sanders' Colorado compound.
Oh, boy.
Some ex-players are describing the Buffalo's football team as a place full of fights, guns, and money, which sounds like a Warren Zevon song.
Wow.
A video has surfaced showing a former assistant coach getting into a major fist fight with a grad assistant. One player equates the situation in Boulder as a real-life Grand Theft Auto video game.
Holy smokes.
The stories that are going to come out after he leaves, it's going to be fun to read. Tonight, we got Western Illinois at Indiana, BYU at SMU in the Battle of Acronyms, and Duke at Northwestern. By the way, have you seen Northwestern? By the way, they got a temporary stadium on the shores of Lake Michigan.
I've not seen it.
It's beautiful. It's
Really?
got the ships out there, the boats out there. It was a beautiful day last Saturday. It was just gorgeous. Hopefully they'll keep something similar to that, because it's like Washington and Puget Sound.
Yeah,
they have
it's
the boats
beautiful.
out there
Yeah.
outside their stadium.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Cool.
You know what a goat is? The greatest of all time?
Yeah.
Did you know there's a woat?
Yes, I saw this. Oh, my.
The worst of all time.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal asked who that is. His answer, he did not hesitate, Minnesota's Rudy Gobert. So Gobert has responded by saying how sad it is that Shaq is still triggered by another player's success. O'Neal made the comment on his son's podcast. He asked his father, it's not Ben Simmons? And Shaq replied, well, he's a bum too.
God, why would you even want to do that? Why would your son goad you into saying who's the worst guy in the business? I mean, why would you want to say that out loud? For what purpose?
Well, because you're Shaq and you don't care. And good for him. He's giving his opinion.
Yeah, I know, but again,
but
I mean,
why sugarcoat it? Ben Simmons is basically a waste.
I'm fine. Okay.
All right. On this day, September 6, 1998, Braves outfitter Andrew Jones hit his 50th career homer, a 4-0 win over the Mets. Became the third youngest player in history to reach that level. Only Mel Ott and one other player did so at a younger age. I'm going to give you a hint.
All right.
Red Sox.
Tony Conigliaro. Ted Williams.
Absolutely.
Tony Conigliaro?
Tony Conigliaro.
That's my first thought. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll be damned.
Yep. 1995, Cal Ripken Jr. of Baltimore played in his 2,131st consecutive Major League game to surpass Lou Gehrig's 56-year-old record that often been cited as one that would never be broken. When the game became official in the middle of the fifth, Ripken took a victory lap around Camden Yards, a 22-minute standing ovation from the sellout crowd. He went 2 for 4 in that game, a home run, and a 4-2 win over California. Now, earlier you were talking about hot dog prices. Did you want to elaborate on that?
Well, no, I was going to say, it's really kind of cool. There was a study, and then somebody came up with all of the stadium prices for a beer and a hot dog. Just those two things, beer and a hot dog. In Seattle, $20. California, $20. Chicago, $18.99, $19. So what? Nashville, $19. Philadelphia, $18.50. Charlotte, $17. See, Landover, Maryland, that's Washington, I guess, $13.60. Jets is $13. Houston, for a beer and a hot dog, $11.75. In Miami, Florida, it's $9.98, and the lowest price for a beer and a hot dog in any NFL stadium, my friends, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, a beer and a hot dog is $7.49.
And you know what? Say what you want about Arthur Blank. He did that, I think, back in 2017 at the Dome, and has kept it up at the Benz. And he does it because he thinks you should give something back to the fans.
That's right. He doesn't want to try to make more money off the fan. $20 for a beer and a hot dog when you're paying all the money, well, for parking and the tickets and everything else at those places. Good Lord.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention tonight, Massachusetts Maritime at SUNY Maritime in Western New England at Springfield.
Oh, that's a huge rivalry. I'm fairly sure there.
Big
That's 5:29. Anything else to go? Here we go. Let's see. Martina Navratilova, 1975. Martina was an 18-year-old tennis sensation from Czechoslovakia. When she came to the States for the U.S. Open in New York City, she requested political asylum in America and got it. And then, of course, that time in New Orleans when I played tennis against Martina Navratilova in a doubles match, and
started the sports by bringing it around.
Her serve curved about 20 feet. I mean, it's the damnedest thing I ever saw. And she wasn't going full steam, but I did return the serve of Martina Navratilova more than once, which I'm probably pretty proud of. Anyway, so excuse me. One more thing, Pete, 1943, of course, World War II. It makes sense then that this day marked the youngest player ever to appear in a Major League Baseball game. A pitcher named Carl Scheib of the Philadelphia Athletics, 16 years, 8 months, and 5 days old. He also played for the Cardinals and stayed in the majors for 11 years. So it wasn't just a flash in the pan to get him on the thing. He stayed. We made an 11-year career out of it. 16 years old, pitching in the majors. Pretty cool. And let's see, I got one more thing here, quick thing. Oh, yeah, Baltimore Orioles designated hitter Eddie Murray hit his 500th home run, joining only Hank Aaron and Willie Mays to have 3,000 hits and 500 homers. Eddie Murray. Was he he's a switch hitter, wasn't he? Is he like the switch hitter? Isn't he number one switch hitter in homers or average or something? Maybe Mickey Mantle.
In numbers?
Might be Mickey
He has
Mantle.
a lot of numbers, but I still say Mantle was the greatest of all time.
5:30. Pete Davis, thank you, sir. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 5:30 on 106.3. Let Her Rip Friday, my friends. Here we go.
So-called journalists have a little trick they like to use from time to time to indoctrinate rather than to inform.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
What's up, Atlanta? It's Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show. Each and every weekend, right here on Extra 106.3, we unpack all the week's events. We talk about all the issues with a local Atlanta-based flavor. You can catch me each and every weekend, Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at noon. If you ever miss an episode, you can go to the podcast park or wherever you download all of your content, and I'll be right there. Thanks for listening to the Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Butler Snow.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
The Morning Extra, Neil Boortz, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Extra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
I'm such an idiot. I normally look at the music list our musical director, Flounder, sends for me, and I didn't notice on the second page that Bananarama was on there. And I remember like an hour ago, I mentioned on my history list that this was the day that Bananarama did a little thing. Well, this is the actual song we were talking about. 1986, all-girl group Bananarama went to #1 with Venus. The song had also been #1 for the Dutch group Shocking Blue in 1970, but again, it became the theme song, the commercial ad theme song for Ladies Razors, I think. for shaving girls' legs, which, by the way, used to be, well, no, I got a little business there on the side. I know it's not talking about that. Anyway, Bananarama here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Our birthday list includes Michael Winslow. You may not know the name. He's 66 years old. Michael Winslow was the guy in Police Academy who did the sound effects with the cops walking by and all that stuff. Michael Winslow, 66 years old today. And on this day in history, the Senate Ethics Committee in 1996 voted unanimously to kick out Senator Bob Packwood. Packwood was accused of groping, kissing, hitting on, and grabbing the breasts of 29 women. And I remember he made a public comment on television. He said, "I realize now that was wrong behavior, and I understand that now." Yeah, and then he quit. There was no way he was going to. He tried to get away with it, saying, the times I understand now, and I'm certainly not that kind of man anymore. Yeah, they said, well, he was gone. 5:35 here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. More politics coming up. Also, a bizarre case of a guy choosing how he should be put to death. But first, ladies and gentlemen, I think something you're all going to remember forever. Shall we take a stroll into the world of happiness here for a moment, sir, at your leisure? Yes, my friends. Once again, it is time for the Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Theater Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where we bring you the opportunity to leave that dreadful, horrible world of yours, the unfortunate life of you, the little people, and bring you some live entertainment. Today's theater presentation is called, Hey, who you think you're talking to, freako? It starts like this. The scene is a hospital delivery room. A young woman, perspiration glistening on her forehead, smiles as she looks down at her newborn baby that she holds in her arms. A proud new father stands next to her, beaming down at his baby boy. But then a furrowed brow comes to his visage. A worried thought has entered his head. He sheepishly walks over to the doctor and in a whispered tone asks him,
Say, Doc, how soon do you think we'll all be able to have sex again?
The doctor winks at the new father and replies,
I'm off duty in 10 minutes. Meet me in the parking lot.
And scene. There you have it. There you have it. Another live performance. The entertainment that honestly we feel from so deep inside that we know how much you just really need this kind of special love on the end of the week to get ready for your weekend. God bless you all. Thank you for joining us on another edition of Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 5:37, and now back to reality. But, I have a little tingle still. I got kind of the goose thing going here. Can you see that probably on YouTube a little bit? To the phones.
I love how the titles never have anything to do with the actual play.
Well, no, the play itself is, again, it's a lot of ways to look at it.
It's art.
Yeah, it's kind of artish.
Art. You don't explain art. You just appreciate it.
I know what I like.
We got a call?
We got a call. Scott, you're on the radio, man. What's going on?
Hey, but God, heaven forbid if you guys air those plays.
If we what?
If you air those plays.
If we air those plays. No, we don't. Luckily, don't put those on the radio. No, those are all in our mind.
Hey, listen, my vote for J.D. Vance. So I'm not sure if he when he was accepting the VP nomination, he stood proudly on the Republican National Convention stage, and the last story he told, he kind of started snickering, and he said, my mama raised me, and I was in charge of her home, and we had to clean everything up, and she was pretty crippled at that point and couldn't get around much. He said she had 19 weapons throughout her house because she needed something in reach. And he said every single one of them was loaded. And she was smiling and grinning ear to ear. proud as he told that story of Mamaw.
Yeah, well, there you go. 19 weapons, all of them loaded because you need something within reach. Well, that's why some people have, a weapon in the seat of a couch or over in the love seat or over by under the refrigerator. You never know. What
He said she even had one in the silverware drawer.
Yeah, I've been there.
That's why it's jammed.
That's right. Sometimes you can't get it on. The damn cylinder's a little too high. Hey, Scott, thanks, man. It's great to talk to you.
Kablam.
Have yourself a great weekend. 5:40, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Yes.
Have you seen the New York Post, and other papers are doing it too? They're showing the photo of when he was deer hunting.
With a
13-year-old, 14-year-old.
Describe the face.
He's got blood on his cheeks.
Yeah, and it's big blood. It's big round bloody spot on both cheeks. So clearly,
well, he naturally has blushing. If you see his mugshot, he's naturally red on the cheeks. But that looks like it's blood. Of course, it's blood that's put on there. And the New York Post headline says chilling unearthed video. And I hope they don't think that that's just a Georgia thing or a Southern thing. That goes back to Europe. That's called blooding. Yeah. If you kill your first deer, they take some of the blood and they put it on your cheeks.
Yeah. I mean, hell, in fact, it used to be that you had to eat the freaking liver. You had to eat part of the dead body of the deer. You cut it open and eat part of the heart. Eat the freaking heart
cultures.
there. I mean, come on, man. I can understand that. And people, it's a little bloodthirsty. Well, you have a dead animal, and I mean, it's like bonding. In fact, it's actually paying tribute to the dead animal. The Indians used to do that. They would celebrate the death of that animal, providing them with resources to keep living.
And if you watch The Crown, when Prince Charles was taken out and shot his first deer in Scotland, and I think they did it with William too.
I'm sure they did.
They did it to them.
Yeah. And folks, I don't hunt anymore. I used to hunt. I don't hunt anymore just for other. I still believe in it. I think that I have no problem with it at all. I just don't choose not to do it now. But again, it's part of the thing. It's not everything is the thing. If you don't like it, then don't do it. Don't put blood on your face if you kill a deer. And by the way, they don't kill a deer. So how can people be critical about this? But again, it's the media is going to make a big thing about this as some sort of cruel devil worshiping thing or something. I don't know. This whole thing just makes me. And again, when you read the story about the family this kid grew up in, and again, it doesn't excuse anything. Well, I think it does excuse some things. It doesn't excuse anything. It explains a few things. But again, still, I haven't heard any more. Maybe you have. Have anybody seen anything about whether there actually was an issue of this kid? He was picked on for supposedly being gay, or they picked on him as though he were gay. I don't know if there's any indication that, of course, he's only 14. What do you know by then? Although these days they say when you're in your womb. So I don't know whether there's anything true to that about the business of possibly being gay or possibly wanting to transition to a girl. Again, those were two things that came up, but whether they have anything to do with anything, I don't know. His father said he was bullied in school. And of course the neighbors were saying it was from the day they moved in, they were a problem. The mother was a drunk and a drug addict and would pass out and be drunk and on drugs, driving her kids to pre-K and kindergarten and stuff, and falling out of her vehicle, drunk and with a car still running in the driveway. And I mean, she'd been arrested for 17 years in 4 different counties. She was in jail a few months ago. So she'd been arrested for apparently beating the husband. She was got a court order to kick her out of the house and keep away from him. So I mean. Anyway, and again, the family, the next door neighbors, a girl was saying that the mother would lock them out of the house, and that the children, they would scream and yell and cry, "Mommy, mommy, let us in," and they were locked out of the house, and that one of the littlest boy would come over to the neighbor's yard and ask her for food. They never had any clean clothes. It was just tragic. And again, that
there's a mugshot of her. It looks like she's smiling and proud of what she's getting arrested for. You're a mother, and why are you?
Well, she's an addict. She's a mess. She's a hot mess. And I don't say that jokingly at all. She's a hot mess. The woman's is in trouble.
And now they're 14. And again, the kid, he's 14 years old. And now the judge cannot sentence him to death. The law says you can't do that. But the judge told him today in court and told his father, who also got charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder plus all kinds of other things, shooting kids. And the judge told the 14-year-old, I cannot sentence you to death. I can sentence you to life without parole, or I could sentence you to life with parole. And I assume he can also sentence him to something less than that. I assume he's not. Now, again, the kid's 14 being tried as an adult. If that goes through, then he won't be able to go to a juvenile facility, I don't think, unless they do that until they're 18 and then set him in big boys prison. I'm not sure what the rule is. If he's tried as an adult and convicted as an adult, you can't put a 14-year-old in Leavenworth or something, can you? Atlanta Penitentiary. I mean, you can't put a 14-year-old boy who looks like that down there. My God, they'd kill him.
Is there still an Atlanta Pen? I don't think it's there anymore.
Don't we have the Atlanta Pen? Oh, are you serious? Why don't I know? Do I not know that?
They still have one? They still got one down there?
I remember getting letters from one of the guys in Atlanta Penitentiary. I was a big hit in their cell.
You were. I remember that.
Remember that? How funny was that? Yeah. The guy, he was a smart guy. He was like a drug guy. He got caught in a drug thing. But he was a smart guy and really clever, and it was really entertaining as hell reading his letters. But what would they have done to the prisoners if they closed it down? There must still be Atlanta Penitentiary. Wouldn't we have heard about it, or have I forgotten that? I don't know. Anyway, it's already 5:45. I'm sorry, I'm blithering.
I had to go get audio there one time when I first got into radio and almost got my ass kicked.
I'll bet you. Can you imagine being a guard or living? Oh my,
miserable.
Oh God, it's got to be awful.
Just complete negativity all throughout the day. That's all you see.
Fear and aggression and just on guard all the time. Oof, that got to be horrible. 5:45. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let it rip Friday, baby.
The latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Attention, if you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out, because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They are experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and will fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We all complain about the internet, but sometimes we should remind ourselves that it has made life so much easier in many, many ways. And let me give you an example. Blinds.com. Tanya and I remember pushy salespeople coming to our house, waiting all day for them, usually late, usually very pushy.
Blinds.com has created a completely virtual consultation, free sample sent right to your door. You never have to deal with a salesperson at your home, and you're never waiting. Whether you're a DIY warrior or you prefer to use their professional installation services, you can count on Blinds.com to deliver top quality window treatments, and you can get unlimited custom window treatments installed with just one low cost. It's all at Blinds.com. There's never any hidden fees or showroom markups. The price you see on the website is the price you pay. Ordering online can be scary, but not with Blinds.com. 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy with the style or the color or the fit, they'll work to make it right. Shop Blinds.com right now. Save 50% site-wide, 50% off at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Miss any of the show? No sweat. Grab your Extra 106.3 app and listen to show replays whenever you want. Download the Extra app now for Apple and Android by searching for XTRA 106.3.
Ah, yes. One of the great guys. Glenn Campbell.
Singing the same old song.
I have this selection on my Magic Music Stick. In fact, Flounder, this song that you put on my Magic Music Stick is one song ahead of Say You Love Me by Fleetwood Mac. And I know when I get to this one, I'm going to be getting sung by my baby girl coming home after that. Glenn Campbell, 1975 on this day. Glenn Campbell, 2-week run at number 1 with Rhinestone Cowboy. First number 1 after 13 top 40 hits, 3 Grammy nominations, Song of the Year. Rhinestone Cowboy. My daughter Jennifer, God bless her, when she was a little girl, it was in 1975, went to number 1, and Jennifer would have been 3. And I remember riding in the car with her, and I had back then cassettes or CD player, not CDs, 8-tracks and stuff. And she would say, "Daddy, play Rhinestone Cowboy, play Rhinestone Cowboy," and I would. Glenn Campbell. I had him on the show. He was one of the greatest guests I've ever had. Honest, sincere, pleasant, charming. Told everything about the cocaine use he did with that country girl thing for a while. And he was just a terrific guy. And you knew he was fading away with Alzheimer's. And he made kind of last appearances stuff. Just what a classy guy, as he turned out to be. Glenn Campbell. Our birthday list: Jane Curtin. 77 years old. I got to work with her and with the whole cast of Saturday Night Live back in the mid-'70s in New Orleans. She came on my radio show with Gilda Radner, who was given a birthday cake by me from my wife, who loved me, Hoppo, my starter wife. Baked her a birthday cake for Gilda Radner, and Jane Curtin was there. And Belushi was high as a kite, took over the studio, and was very bizarre. But Jane Curtin was very nice, very sweet, very kind of straightforward. Wasn't really happy to be there, I don't think, but she was pleasant. And nothing to say bad about her, but Jane Curtin, 77 years old today. Okay. 5:52, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Now, Flounders just came. Look, this is going to be interesting. If you've ever, you know who Alan Dershowitz is? Famous Harvard professor. His friends and faculty and all his other friends and business people have turned against him because he complained that Donald Trump was being treated unfairly. Alan Dershowitz is a famous Democrat. Well, Flounder just found the story. Is there audio of this, Flounder? Do we know? Is that possible?
Yeah, he was on Zev Brenner's podcast, and he's talking right here.
Democratic Party. I am no longer a Democrat. I am an independent. I'll decide who to vote for at the last minute based on totality of the circumstances. I want to see how they deal with Iran. I want to see how they deal if Iran attacks the United States. I want to encourage the current administration to support Israel. So I'm not revealing my vote until, maybe November 1st. I hate to hear all the information, all the evidence, but I'm no longer a member of the Democratic Party.
When did you resign the Democratic Party?
Well, gradually over time, I think a lot of things pushed me in that direction. Kamala Harris's failure to comply with her constitutional obligation to preside over the Senate and the House joint sessions for Netanyahu pushed me a lot over that. And what Joe Biden said pushed me over that. But I think the thing that really pushed me is how the Democrats conducted their convention. I cannot be associated with a party that features as its speakers AOC, Sharpton, Liz Warren, and Bernie Sanders. That's not my party.
Thank you for watching. If you
wow, Alan Dershowitz. He had scathing response to when Barack Hussein Puttitad said, quote, "We all make mistakes," talking about Israel a few months ago. And Alan Dershowitz said that really he regretted ever voting for Puttitad after he said that about the way that Israel's been treated and they've treated Hamas and so forth. Wow. The Democrat Party left Alan Dershowitz. He didn't leave them. And again, it was because the man, he speaks truth, he speaks reality, and he said, Donald Trump was being treated unfairly. Well, we all know that, but if you hate him, then you don't care. That's the difference. He's being treated unfairly, but if you hate him, you don't care. And speaking of Trump, another reminder on Sunday, what's today, the 6th, right? On Sunday, which is the 8th, 11 o'clock in the morning, there's going to be Bikers for Trump escort the Trump bus. It'll be at Brand Smart 5000 Motors Industrial Way in Atlanta. Brand Smart Industrial Way, Atlanta, 11 o'clock in the morning, Buford Highway to Buford Drive, end up at the Mall of Georgia Boulevard in Buford, and it's Bikers to escort the bus for Donald Trump. 11 o'clock on Sunday, Industrial Way, Brand Smart. Okay, for the record. By the way, this is kind of bizarre here, too. This story just came in. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, I wrote something else I was going to talk about. Son of a gun. I can't find it. Anyway, South Carolina inmate has now got to decide how they should kill him. He's a convicted murderer, and he has left the decision to his lawyer in South Carolina because he is the attorney says that she had to inform the prison officials that he had a choice whether he should be put to death by lethal injection or the electric chair. And this guy says, no, I don't think I want to go by the electric chair. Let's go ahead and do lethal injection. He's apparently Muslim. And so, let's see, the prison officials aren't sure whether the drug will cause him unbearable pain, could be cruel and unusual. In light of the information, the best decision I'd make on his behalf. Lawyer didn't make a decision. Owens would be sent to the electric chair. He said he doesn't want to die like that. And it's been postponed over the struggle to get the lethal materials. And apparently because he's Muslim, he can't commit suicide. So he can't decide whether he should be killed in the electric chair or with a needle. So he had to have his lawyer decide for him. They're afraid it's going to cause him too much pain. Wow. That'd be too bad. God, can you imagine old Sparky? Holy cow. When they put that thing on your head and the little sponge and the water and the ankle thing and the knee, shave oh boy. Yeah. Oh, that's got to be really bad, I think, probably. Anyway, 5:56, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, I floundered. Let's play the quickly before we do. God, we're almost out of time. We got a minute though. Let's do the Kamala Harris, card number 2, Carmela's side piece. She also actually said what she would do concerning free speech if she wins.
That he frankly should be his Twitter account should be suspended. I think there is plenty of now evidence to suggest that he is irresponsible with his words in a way that could result in harm to other people. And so the privilege of using those words in that way should probably be taken from him.
That's the Vice President of the United States saying that there ought to be somebody in control of speech that she doesn't think is appropriate. Again, they made the point that if she thinks that his speech could harm someone, they should stop him.
It's twice. She has said it's a privilege to have freedom of speech. Twice. Yeah. She doesn't understand it's a right.
She is the former Attorney General of California, former prosecutor in California.
She's dangerous, imbecile.
And you know what they're going to do if they win? I mean, seriously.
They're going to try it. They're going to try it.
They're going to do all the things they've been talking about. They've said what they want to do. And now she says her values haven't changed, but she pretends all her issues have changed? How is that possible? Anyway, 5:58, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on Let It Rip Friday. And now one more Flounder's funny before we go.
So I've just been regressing. I can't deal with this I just want to hit pause. I don't want this election to happen. So I've just been regressing, and I'm just watching the dumbest I possibly can. You know, morning time, those stupid talk shows to get soccer mom's day started. You have all those non-thinking stories. You know, you love him, he's your best friend. But did you ever wonder, what does your dog do when you're not home? The next video may surprise you. I just fill up my brain with this dumb I don't want to deal with what's really going on. Nationwide heroin epidemic. That. It's National Taco Day. We got Tony from Tony's Taco. Tony, what is it that makes a great taco? Well, it's all about starting out with the tortilla.
It's Taco Tuesday.
That's Bill Burr. He's got to be one of my all-time top 3 or 4 comedians ever, I would think.
Yeah.
Anyway, Flounder and Miss Veronica, plans for the weekend?
What are we doing? We're going to the lake.
Excellent. Pete Davis, Mountains of Macon. Your mountain girls up there, like hoedowns or anything, or country dancing? Or
There's
what?
a big disco party tomorrow night that I'm supposed to have to go to. We'll see.
My God. All right, well, we want to know all about
Pictures.
it on Monday. Yeah, and the video, it didn't happen. All right, almost time. Kimmer, I got to go. You're killing me. Christine, sing me home, baby. Hoorah! Look out, Herb. Stand by. Yeah, I'm out of here.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.